You see everything that's going on. He's the man that's in charge of that, and he does a great job.
He does an excellent job.
Well, we had fun this week. I need to figure out when Zoom decides to give me a 4K file size instead of something smaller. I worked this week to get the thing out. It came out really late because it turned out that I had an enormous 7 GB file and I didn't pay any attention to that. Tried to work with it, completely crashed my computer every time I tried to bring it up.
Oh my.
I'll have to come up with some method of determining what size the files are that are coming off.
Yeah. I'm lucky I know how to turn mine on, so it's all you, bud. I can't help you.
I'm certain it is, and I'm not complaining. I'm just laughing at myself.
Yeah.
My wife has been laughing at me now for 4 days, trying to figure out how hard she can laugh. I crash my computer over and over again.
Speaking of the devil, he just walked in the door, y'all.
Uh-oh.
And his accomplices came in too. Mr. Ron Radler.
There he is. How you doing, Donald?
Oh, Trey, did you say that if I turn on the live script, I should be able to get the names embedded? I made the live transcript, but it came off and it was kind of clumsy because it has all the words, doesn't say who's saying it. So it makes
I don't know if I go click on my transcript and view full transcript right now.
right. It shows up in the box on full transcript, and then when you save the file, it comes out with all the words, but none of the people's names.
Okay, I'm not seeing any names right now on what I'm doing. Well, yeah, I do. I see the name of who speak of me, and then time and everything else.
Right. But when you save the file, it just
not
saves
there.
the words and the time date. It doesn't give you the names. It doesn't really matter, though. I've set it up so the YouTube will provide us with the transcript. But I thought it was funny because it makes it a little hard to use when you save that full transcript and all you got is the words said by somebody.
Well, I'm not familiar enough with it. At least, at least figure out how to get the thing turned on. And that was
We
the
do,
magic.
and it looks great on the screen here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for doing that.
And I, looking at a bunch of these YouTube videos, I found out that, we're better off just using the transcript thing within Zoom instead of using a third-party translator. So,
Right. It looks like it does really well.
yeah. One other thing that Zoom's allowing this to happen is you can assign somebody to copy to type the stuff in.
Really?
And what you get, yes.
Wow.
But the neat part about this is, let's say you're having a meeting that's bilingual. You can have the speaking going on, and then somebody copying and typing a translation in.
Wow. Somebody better be a fast typist.
Yeah.
They better be
It's
honest.
not me.
Yeah, that's true.
Not
too.
me.
Not me. Pick and poke won't work for that.
I can't do it because I couldn't spell them. I come about every third word I can't spell, so I got to call Siri up and ask her how to spell it.
Yeah, or type
I
it in and let
understand
that
the concept.
autocorrect take care of it.
Yeah, but I can't even get it close enough for autocorrect to find it.
I give up on it. I mean, I have a brother-in-law that makes up those acronyms, LOL and shaking my head and all that stuff, but he makes up his own, and it really doesn't have to have a routine. It's just, he just throws the letters at it, drives the kids crazy. Am I still here? Did I leave?
Yeah, Eddie, your video seems to be real jumpy this evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check and see what I'm using for an output right now.
It seems, your head and your motions, like you don't seem to be moving. You're up a little bit. That seems to be a little better, but you were real jumpy just a second ago.
I
Hi,
think I was-
guys.
was putting out too many
Hello,
networks.
Miss Brenda.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Alrighty, how you doing?
Not too bad. It's pouring cats and dogs here in Florida.
Really? Well, you know, it's also special. We send in Hurricane Fred your way. You know,
I
to
heard
ta-
that about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. And it's going right up the coast where I live. So thanks.
Yeah. Kim said we
Anytime.
Kim said we come to the house if we bring our own waiters.
There you go. I like it. Hey.
Anytime. We'll be glad to send you the storm.
I know. Well, you guys get hit so much up in Louisiana and Texas.
I'm glad I live in Western PA.
Yeah. about
Oh,
those
yeah.
folks.
We've sent them up north lately.
No, you don't have to. Even when Boston gets their storms, that misses me mostly. I get a little bit of the rain or wind, but nothing like they get on the coast.
Oh, that's good. My
Yeah,
sister lives in Western New York, which
Yeah, I hadn't even,
he gets the lake effect in the wintertime.
yeah.
You can say hurricanes is my kind of business.
yeah, I didn't
Okay.
didn't pay any attention to this one. This one's coming up along the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like about
Yeah,
50 miles offshore and going into where Alabama and Georgia meet.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's 5 days away.
Or-
That's a wild ass. Never mind.
Yeah,
Whenever-
okay, that's all right. You're right.
Whenever a hurricane hits, our business, sometimes we work 5 and 6 days a week.
Trees.
So right now we're working 4 days a week.
Wow.
But if we get a bad hurricane, then whenever FEMA's called in, then we jump up and build anchors and stuff for the FEMA mobile homes.
Wow. Okay. We have a lot of those down here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Got to show off my management's project for this evening.
Oh, I like it.
That's cool.
Well, let
That's
me go back
great.
to you. Hold on,
She's
Doug.
quite the seamstress. Doesn't work in wood, but she does great things in cloth.
Show us that one more time, Doug, because it cut out on you.
Come here.
Beautiful.
Hang on just a second.
All right, pull it
That's
back towards you.
gorgeous.
There you go. Oh, that is nice.
It's all little
That's
pieces
real
cut out and sewed onto the black background.
Yep. Apple for the teacher in the school. That's great.
Still got suit. Okay, we're back.
Well, hello, Doug.
I do.
Well, if that sign was right, that new haircut is great, Eddie.
Oh, it is. And I got, it's got 6 little heads on it. It really does nice. I've been letting the Mohawk go.
Which
I mean,
one of them got cut?
Third one to the right. Right over in here. Wasn't that big, had to go. Had to go. My wife, I bought that razor. I didn't tell the wife about it. Bought that thing the other day. She said, "What is that thing?" And I said, "Oh, it's to shave my head." And she said, "You don't really need it." So,
Just use that Bill Buffing system.
yeah.
I got a question for you. Let me tell you about a story about 45 years ago when I was young and beautiful. And I asked for chisels for Christmas. And my sister gave what she thought was a set of Powercraft by Montgomery Ward chisels. And they were turning chisels. Well, at the time I wasn't turning, so I put them in the box and put them away. And most of it was spindle stuff, but I don't know what this is. It looks
Standard
like
bowl
it
gouge.
can't be.
I think it's a standard bowl gouge. I mean, that's what I would think. It's just got a
Yeah,
60-degree
that's what it
sweep
looks
on
like.
it. And it's
Yeah,
rolled back and
roughing
forth,
gouge,
no
yeah.
ellipse.
Spindle gouge.
Yeah.
Spindle gouge.
All right, it's pretty big spindle gouge. Now, this metal from back then has to be not, it's got to be softer than what we're using now, right?
Remember, there were standards for tool steel, HSS, and not very strictly adhered to by some manufacturers. And there's no police out there to say if you do this, you don't do this. It's just not, it doesn't exist. That's why you find these tools that get in Harbor Freight or some of the knockoffs that just don't last. They just don't have the steel.
So my question is, do not touch it with the CBN wheel?
Sure you can.
Okay. I figured it was softer and you wouldn't be able to touch it on the CBN.
Oh, no. No, it'll work fine. I sharpen all my carbide tools on CBN, even the ones I've made.
Okay, well, I didn't know whether it was a carbide or what kind of tool it was, so.
Oh, no, that really looks like mild steel, nothing special about it. Nothing comes powder. See the corrosion in the inside and the bed and the sleeve, that would tell me it's very close to being low grade, high speed steel.
Okay, like I said, it hasn't been touched in 45 years.
You know, don't change that shape though. It has
Okay.
a purpose. It has a purpose as a bowl gouge. You know, for especially around the outside of pieces and stuff where you're doing a convex cut and shaping up. That's a handy tool. It's strong. Don't get it too far out over the tool rest because it will bend because you
Yeah.
got that small tang on it.
Yeah, you can see the small tang on the end there, but it's,
Yeah. Yeah, and everything they can do does not cosmetically does not improve the strength of that tang. It is a weak point. But as long as you're close to the tool rest, you don't have a problem. It's when you want to play Joe Strong and reach way out there to grab a piece. That's when you get into trouble. That and and roughing gouges, they just eat you up.
okay.
You will
Thanks.
be hurt. You think it's tool breaking. You will get hurt by it. You will.
Now, how old did you say that tool was?
45 years.
That is carbon steel.
Okay.
It's carbon steel. It's probably not.
I lost you. What did he say?
Steel. It's what they call colonial gouge now, which is it's a type of spindle gouge. They used to just roll the steel around on it, but it's just carbon steel. It'll take a very, very sharp edge. The only
Yeah.
problem is it won't hold the edge as long as our current tool steels do.
All right, so is it okay to put it on the CBN or not?
That would probably be okay.
You're cutting out. John.
Another type wheel or just a CBN?
Well, I've got one CBM and one stone.
Personally, I would probably put it on the CBN because you're only lightly honing it. The stone wheel, is it a real coarse wheel or?
No, it's about 150 grit.
Ooh, that's coarse.
That's a nice wheel.
Okay. And my CBN's 180 grit.
You could, I probably sharpen it more on the stone side, but I don't differentiate that much difference on it. The only thing you don't put on the CBN is aluminum or something that's real soft
Okay,
because it will clog.
gotcha.
I belong to two clubs up in Vancouver, British Columbia, and over 150 members. And the rule up here is we do not put that steel on a CBN. That's most clubs will say do not use a CBN wheel on them. They plug them up.
Okay,
Carbon steels.
Yes, carbon steel.
Okay. So
That's
don't
good.
do it.
thank you.
If that hurts, don't do it. Okay.
Okay.
But don't change the shape of that. when you sharpen that, it's gonna be in a basket or a saddle. And you
Yeah.
just want to get that 60, and it's about a 60-degree angle. If you
Yeah.
use all right. And all you want to do is get it to that angle and roll it. And really, if you're using that set jig, you need one pass to sharpen it. None of this back and forth and back
Yeah,
and forth.
I've got the jig.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe any of that stuff where I see these folks sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen. I just think you got too much money to throw the steel on the floor.
Yeah, I just like to go around once and be done.
That's all
If
you
you're
need.
if you're worried about it, put a little marker on there, and that way you know you covered the whole edge when it's all gone.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
A question for Eddie on that one. That tool she's got has got a tang on it. In past history, when they made carbon steel, did they actually not use solid steel round like we do today, where there was all the chisels made? Because you said that was a bowl gouge, and my impression with that wide opening on the front, that is a spindle gouge. And anything to do with spindle gouges, even today, a lot of them were just actually had a tang on them because it was never meant to be overhanging. When you said bowl gouge, you had me questioning that.
I have a 1-inch bowl gouge that's got a little tang on it. It's made by Delta. And I have the same tools from Delta with a spindle gouge, a roughing gouge, et cetera, and they're all press fit into a handle, and they all have a maybe 3/8 square tang on them, and it will heat
Okay.
press and make them fit right.
Okay, thanks. I didn't know they made them back then.
Oh, they were absolute junk. I've got a handful of them, and I've just reshaped them to other necessary things like a beat. I've got a ring cutter, a freestanding ring cutter that I made out of a tool. I have some dovetail scrapers, face in and for mortises, all made out of junk tools. Junk tools, okay? Tools that I would not use today.
Susan,
Yes, Ronnie.
that tool again where where it hits the handle. Show that tool.
It's got a smaller tang going in.
You can almost see light under the edge or through
Yeah.
under that edge.
I have a question for y'all. Why are y'all calling that a spindle gouge rather than a roughing gouge?
Well, I don't think it's deep enough to be a roughing gouge. I think it's the old-fashioned shape of a bowl gouge. It's
I
a
looked
little
at
bit
it.
less shallow than it's shallower than a bowl gouge with the more heat heft on the bottom.
That's why I suggested the spindle gouge also. It's a very wide and it's very shallow. So that's usually the sign of a spindle gouge, where a bowl gouge is usually a lot deeper down than the cut and narrower. Like, a lot of them have V cuts and everything else on a bowl gouge. So that's why I thought that was definitely a spindle gouge.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to now, because you see the thickness of the base. And we all have to agree. You can name anything you want. There's no rules in this game.
It's a European or continental roughing gouge.
Yeah, I did look that up, and they looked a little bit like this, but I wanted to show you guys because I have no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
I think a roughing gouge is deeper. It's got a different shape on it. It's got higher walls on the sides, and they're not necessarily in a curve. They're a little straighter up. There's less of an arc in them.
Normally
Also,
they're straight across the front.
a
too.
roughing gouge, the thickness of the steel is the same all the way around.
Yes, no heel, no toe. It's just one chunk of steel.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I would call that just a large spindle gouge. That's not a bowl gouge, that's for sure. It's too wide.
okay. Then I can do spindles with it. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of spindle, raise your hand. I'm trying to get a count here.
Safety first. I'm in favor of safety first.
There you
Safety.
go.
Yep.
Is that playing our game here? What's the deal? We're just getting rolling tonight, folks. I hope we have a great turnout. I hope we get some good ideas going and all. And it it's been that kind of a week. We need to have something just explode for good this week, for good. I've been on the phone every day this week with somebody going here or going there, or is there and can't come back here. So things getting rough again. I hope we all pay attention to it.
Eddie,
I'm losing friends over it, and I want to. Hey, Ronnie,
the new papa's in the house, Cade Boulder.
I didn't see his name up there. Is he here?
He
Yes,
just
sir.
came in.
Oh, there he is.
I don't think
Yep.
he sat down yet.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey,
How you
Eddie.
doing,
Hi,
Cade?
Cade. How
How's
you
that
doing?
baby?
Hey,
Hey, everyone. Hey, Andy. I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. Got a break. Got to get into the shop today and make a couple things. So I'll have a couple things to show a little later on.
Good.
So it's been nice to get back on the lathe. But yeah, Cash is doing well. He's over 12 pounds now. He's gaining weight like a
Wow.
little champ.
Yeah, we can get a full-size
great.
gouge pretty soon.
Hey, Cade,
Yeah.
he's taking after his Uncle Eddie.
I thought, yeah, I hate to say this, Ronnie, but I thought we came to terms over this.
I always figured Eddie was breastfed, you know?
Hey, Billy.
Well, it's a darn good thing we're all friends here.
You left
And
that
there's
door
nothing
wide
sacred. Say again, Ronnie?
open. I said you left that door wide open.
I know. So this week is the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. It's huge. It's up in South Dakota. And there's probably 20 different YouTube videos and live cameras all over the place. You can watch it. And they got almost 100,000 people up there. And I was watching the videos today. What amazes me, two things. Number one, there isn't a mask in the crowd, nowhere. And I mean, they're huddled in there, but also there's not a single piece of trash on the ground. I'm from New Orleans. If you don't have to wade through the trash, you're not at a good party. I just can't get over, And I like watching it because they come up with the weirdest. Be careful about that.
My brother-in-law is there right now. It's crazy. He said it's nuts. It's really crowded this year. He said it's probably like 25% more crowded than it was last year, or pre-COVID.
Yeah, don't tell them they can't go. They will not hear I can't go.
yeah, I have a friend that's there right now.
Yeah.
And he's been sending pictures and stuff online to us, and it's nuts. He said it's just insane how many people showed up this year. It's never
What's
seen
this?
anything like
Mardi
it.
Gras?
No, it's Sturgis Motorcycle Festival.
Like motorcycle Mardi Gras.
Yeah, just about it.
Yeah,
Well, everybody and his brother's glad to get out of the house now, so
I think that people are going to get out at all costs. I think that's what it's all about right now.
exactly right.
And that's what they're doing at all costs.
I was looking at some of the statistics on a federal site for this COVID, and it is absolutely unbelievable. They've got my county listed as the 20th worst county in the whole country.
Oh, my goodness.
And-
Florida people stepping up there, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We had, in the last 7 days, just in my county, we had 5,116 cases, new cases.
Wow.
Yeah.
We
It-
lost,
I didn't
Louisiana lost about 300 people in the last couple of days. And at this time in January, we were losing one a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What county do you live in, Susan?
I live in Pinellas.
In the
And
county
Hills-
I live,
$2.
in the county I live in, it's only 36% of the people have been vaccinated.
Holy moly. And you're in California, right?
Yeah, I'm in Central California, Tulare County.
Oh. Wow.
It's amazing.
It's all the counties around me are the same way. They're really low in vaccination rates. And it's crazy. My daughter's a respiratory therapist, and she said she's seen the cases just come into the hospital like crazy lately. So
They said up in Canada, they're reporting that 98% of your cases in California right now that are coming in are that Delta variants, and they are 98% of the people unvaccinated.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. So we're going to be hurting here pretty soon in my county.
Yeah, but hey, folks, let's just not get into politics too much, okay? We know it's the situation is rough, but I don't want to alienate anybody by saying, oh, this, you know, you have to do this or you should do that or something like this. Nope.
We're just telling our friends, Eddie, to be careful out there.
That's what I'm telling them. Be careful what you do, where you go. I will not make contact with another human being right now.
Eddie,
Yeah, same.
Eddie, you don't think we should be wearing masks or mandate vaccinations for Zoom meetings?
I just rinsed my mask out just now. I had it on all day by myself in the house. The only problem with that, you sneeze one time, you gotta go clean it.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
my
but-
respirator mask. Is that positive air pressure? Does that count?
Yeah, like that,
Only for you, not for the person standing next to you.
Exactly.
I was, the wife went in someplace today and I saw a guy walking in with his t-shirt up over his face. Because you can't go in the post office building without a mask. So,
Management.
Watch out behind you.
I know, management's here. You can see the screen, so she's hiding behind me.
Yeah, she's hiding from you.
Look,
She's hiding
see?
behind you. Oh, there she is.
There she is.
All right.
See you later. That's code for she's gone. I can do something.
Ooh, get that credit card out. Get some new tools.
Right, Coach.
There goes the Snickers.
I had a brain tumor 7 years ago. In a couple of weeks, it'll be 7 years. I don't have a credit card. I'm not allowed to have one. And my buying efforts on Amazon are being curtailed greatly. So, guess if I ain't earning it, I ain't gonna spend it. I turned this week. I was in the shop a couple of times this week and turned. Brenda's with us tonight, right, Brenda? Hey, Brenda. I thought Brenda was out there.
She
She was
was.
turning. She called me a couple of times. She was turning.
Okay. Brenda was out there. Brenda, I want to show you, there's no Band-Aids because most of them have healed up enough. Most of them have healed up enough to where I won't need Band-Aids at this point. But,
Yeah, she asked a good question. She called me up and asked me, she says, is it okay if I put Parfex on top of a finished turn that I had already put sanding sealer on? And I said, well, I've never done it, but I just don't think it would soak in as far, but you got nothing to lose. Just do a little test piece. See, I just, I never thought about it. I was told not to put sanding sealer if I was using Parfex because you want it to really soak in, but
If it
I've heard a
doesn't work,
couple-
you always sand it back off.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I got nothing to lose. I've just never done it. I mean, she just wanted to know if anybody had done it.
There's a couple of schools of thought on that, and one of them is you can put the sealer on and get you get the finish that you want, and then you seal it with the CA or the Parfex. And you can do that then any of the CA products. You're just getting that one coat covers all with the Parfex, which you don't get that,
What
that
kind-
frill.
What kind of sanding sealer are you using?
Deft lacquer sanding sealer. DEFT. Get it at Ace Hardware Store, PPG paint.
I've always just used the clear shellac sanding sealer.
That's what
When I
I
was-
use, that 1 pound cut. That's what I
Yeah.
ordered.
That's what I use too.
Yeah, that's a good sealer. That's bulletproof. When I came up in the cabinet shop, everything you made, you had to throw a coat of sealer on it. Because you weren't going to have the finish suck into the wood. Because that's expensive, you know.
Just don't know if the finish would end up streaking on you or not when you put the Parfex. If the Parfex didn't penetrate, you might have some shiny spots that are shinier than others. I don't know. I couldn't answer her question. I don't know if she tried it or not.
Are you a great fan of the Parfex?
You wound up using lacquer.
I love Parfex. I love Parfex myself.
I don't want to say love. I'm dating, but you know.
So my answer is yes.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
Let me ask a finish question. I just got about 30 wig stands from our local club here that we get putting the lighthouse emblem on the bottom of it, and but some of them need some of them are partially finished, and they need probably a final coat on them.
Your audio
Wait,
is broken.
Your audio
Okay.
went terrible.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, and I don't know what finishes on them. Some of them, they could have any type of clear finish on them. What would you recommend overcoating whatever I have on there that will work on just about anything? Do I need to go to?
General Finish is Armor Seal.
See, I was gonna seal coat with shellac, because you can put that on anything and then you can overcoat it. It acts as a binder.
Yeah, shellac will always work.
But you
You know,
can't
I
use
would
lacquer.
bring it
You
down
can't
to
use
like-
lacquer. Lacquer could attack different things. I know that.
Yeah, if there's any wax on it at all, lacquer's going to dance.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's on some lacquer side of the question, so maybe shellac in a water-based.
Are you on a
No,
wireless
like a
mic?
robot.
Bad.
Well,
Yeah,
shellac
change-
will go
Change
on
the
a wax,
battery.
an oil base, or a water base. It'll go on anything because you use it as an in-between coat if you're changing your medium.
It's an organic stack up.
Mhm.
I have a can of bullseye shellac downstairs, and it's written right on the can, this is not to be used on any poly finish. You can spray lacquer on it and do what you want, but if you put that bullseye shellac on, it says right there, do not use it under a poly finish.
Yeah.
Oh, under a poly finish. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
But I have a brand new can of Deft sanding sealer here, brand new. And this morning, settled an argument with somebody. I had to take a picture of it. It says do not spray. Not for use with sprayers. And I cut it 50-50. And I'll put it on with my airbrush like crazy, but I'll put it on with the cloth most of the time. But if I'm doing big pieces or there's several pieces, I just spray the airbrush and throw it in there a little bit, and because it's cleaned so easily, so nicely. I've never had a clogged up airbrush give me a problem. Never.
We used to spray it with a big sprayer when I was in high school. We sprayed it all the time.
Yeah. And I've got one of those it's from Harbor Freight, the little 2 or 3 ounce bottle with the thing on. I used that for a long time. They call it a spot primer or something, but it was a pretty good sized can.
Yeah.
Ben's
Touch-up
makes-
sprayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that does have to be cleaned out once in a while. I've clogged one up so bad I wouldn't spray at all. I could not clean it. But I've sprayed it a lot.
That's a suction sprayer rather than a downdraft, which airbrushes are downdrafts. So I love playing the airbrush. I had my wife go in the attic. No, she just went in the attic and got a bag down on my turnings that when I was incapacitated, they packed up all my gallery and they put it in the attic. And I went through it this morning. Most of it's made 5 summers in pretty good shape because the wood was in I didn't have anything forced. Lids were not cut too green, and I got some segmented pieces that the outsides are staved, and they didn't move, but the bottom and the top were segmented in a pattern, 16 rings, 16 pieces in a ring, and both of them split right to center. And it proved me, I've told people for years, you could put a clamp on those rings and pull them tight with glue on them, but that doesn't mean you move that wood. When God gets a hold of it, he's gonna move it where he wants it to go. And if you got it where it is not cut right, no matter what you do with that ring, it'll come apart someplace, something will pop or break. I've been sitting here and heard them crack on the counter, you know.
Can you hear me now, Eddie?
Yes, ma'am, Brenda.
Hey,
Hey, it's working.
All
I
right.
had to log in 3 times. First time I know I couldn't hear you guys. Then I couldn't talk to you guys.
Yeah, I saw you.
So, I'm back. I'm here.
I thought I saw you, yes. I saw a bowl.
Hear you and you can hear me.
I saw a bowl you posted on Facebook today.
One I did today.
Yeah, there it is. Nice.
This is the same one I posted a while back, that the black walnut that I rough turned and put it in the sawdust, but I put the sealer on the inside and the outside. Dane said I needed to take it off the inside. Well, I took it all off today. So
How's it working out?
yeah, Parfex finished on it too,
Nice.
Pretty.
and it did not come off the lathe.
you stick your fingers together.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Did your fingers get stuck
Brenda.
together again?
Brenda, did you
Um,
by any chance?
Actually, the funny thing is, I was wearing gloves, and it went through the gloves. I had to peel the gloves off my fingers.
When it reacts to moisture, it'll go right through those gloves.
Yep.
Brenda, did you by any chance use lemon juice on that walnut piece?
No.
Well,
Just the
when you do one in the future, wipe the
Yeah.
sapwood down with lemon wood. I want to show you something that I did.
Okay, lemon juice, right? I got a bunch of it. It was given to me for free.
This piece was just as bright sapwood, that piece that you got when I did it 5 years ago. Now you can hardly tell. It was completely white. And it was a piece I did before I knew I needed to do that. And since then, I've been using it, and it'll maintain that white for a long, long time.
I see.
But
Okay.
walnut will bleed all to the same color if you don't do that. And you see some places where it's real dark.
What'd you put on it, Terry?
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
And it seals it. I learned it at our club a long time ago up in Memphis, and it's pretty standard for walnut to keep the sapwood from turning color.
Will I do that before the sanding sealer or instead of the sanding sealer?
I would do it on raw wood is where I've always done it.
And then
Do
put the
it
sanding
first
sealer
coat
on?
and get it on there, and it seems to seal it all itself and stops it from bleeding.
Okay. So you're saying I shouldn't need the sanding sealer then?
I would put it on afterwards. I put the lemon juice on and kind of use it like you would water it, to raise a grain a little bit, and then sand it down, and then put your sanding sealer on and go on. But the lemon juice will stop it from the brown from bleeding to the sapwood.
Okay. You guys want to see the other bowl I did?
Wait a minute. I'll get back to you.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Say what?
I asked if everyone wanted to see my other bowl.
Oh,
yes, we do.
Of course we want to see
This
your
one.
other bowl.
Of course.
Sure we do.
Oh, that's beautiful, Brenda.
That's
This
gorgeous.
is a piece of mulberry. That
I had
put
somebody
on
ask me
lathe.
today, is it worth the darn to turn mulberry? And I said, no, send it to me. Yeah.
We
That's
got
not nice,
mulberry.
Eddie.
Look at
We
the
got
color in
mulberry
it.
everywhere.
That is
This
gorgeous.
one, I kind of, I don't know how to explain. I kind of, it's dipped in, you know. And this,
That's the trick.
this one I call my spiritual bowl. This is so weird. My radio, And we'll get to the oldies station more. Christian channel was the only thing that would come in, which is good. I don't mind that. But then see this spot down here? As I was turning it, and I didn't get a picture of it, before I got down to this part, it looked like an angel.
Still does.
You think? Well,
Uh-huh.
it turned into a cross.
Yep.
And then I got this. I just thought that was so cool.
It is cool.
Wish I would have gotten a picture of the angel I seen in it. And check out
Sometimes
my
y'all
Facebook.
scare
I
me.
did get a picture of the cross.
I'm not
Actually,
afraid to say, sometimes y'all
like-
scare me with these things.
Like somebody with their hands out, you know,
Yeah.
gathering
Even
his
this one,
flock.
when I turned it around and, you know, clamped it in the, whatever piece that jig is, you know, you clamp it here like this. When I did it that, and, took the bottom off, it didn't fly off the lathe either. Which
All right.
that is very unusual.
That's beautiful,
Somebody-
Brett.
Your
Thank
cold
you, I like that
jaws.
one.
You talking about your cold jaws, or you have some kind of a?
Yeah,
you
the
said
cold
you were-
jaw, yeah,
Cold jaw.
yeah.
You on,
Yeah, actually, I used that on this one too and finished the bottom on it too.
I'm playing with a Ron Brown's Best. I like Ron and his wife Janice. Ron Brown's Best. It's a holding jig that's got some rings to it that you can do flip arounds, and you don't have to chuck on the face of the bowl or a platter. I'm playing with a platter right now. It's great because I can put it on there, the right size ring, and I can do all the detail work I want to do on the bottom. And I have a Longworth made by Ron, but this one kind of doesn't augment the Longworth. It completely throws it out the door because it's Longworth is easy to adjust, but this has a holding capacity that's unbelievable. Well, hey, I talked to a couple of vendors going to SWAT, and I'm going to talk down SWAT. This is my favorite symposium of all. And a lot of my friends that are vendors are not going. They may have signed up, but they cannot afford to go with half the audience that they would normally have there. They have about one half of subscribers. Maybe it'll go up, but they're not offering refunds. And some of the folks I've talked to are, number one, scared to death of the exposure and what's going on. And number two, they can't afford to pay that much money and deal with that lesser audience. So hopefully things turn around for them and for all of us, because it was the same way at AAW. And I got a good friend that's in that Florida group put one on and this year coming up, and they're concerned about the same thing. If you charge somebody $500 or $600 to have a booth there, they have to make that on top of sales just to pay the rent. And if you don't have the sales, you can't pay the rent. But hopefully it turns around for SWAT. I'm not going to be able to make it, medical reasons, but hey, I know a lot of folks going.
Chicken and the egg. One of them's got to go first.
Yep.
Up in Canada, we got some people that are coming down as demonstrators. And as it stands right now, we can't even enter the United States. So unless that changes, you'll have demonstrators not showing up too.
That could happen. That could happen. In this world of virtual demonstrations, a lot of those shows are going to suffer terribly. And well, I'm afraid of how many woodturners will suffer along with them, because if you have to pay for a pay-per-view to see a demonstration, and some clubs get outrageous with paying their share. They're not out to do it for the benefit of membership. They're out to do it for money, for an income. But if you can't afford to pay in pay-per-views, you're going to lose out. Whereas you can go for one time to some of these symposiums and see 15 demonstrations in 3 days for $150. You can't get that on it and face to face. So I know it'll come back. Just take a little time, and we'll get smart enough to get it all back. So, all right, who's been turning this week? I see Dane in the house taking care of gallery tonight. Hello, Dane. Nice to see you back in with us again.
Yep, thank you.
And I'm looking through here. We got Brenda in. Dave Rhodes is in. Dave Rhodes is a master webmaster. Dave, you're already recording, I understand.
Yep.
Okay. Kay Boge is with us. Ron Radliff is out of Washington. Ronnie Bonnett's here. Trey Lene is here. Trace Lene is here. Billy Dillard's with us. Dane Chandler. Wow. We've got a pretty good
Present.
crowd in here tonight.
Present.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Hey, Eddie, Doug Rowe here.
Oh no, the first
Dougie Fresh.
sergeant's in the house.
Hey, I'm driving right now, so I can't pay too much attention, but got to send another shout out. Jack Cap from Pennsylvania, I got your pens, buddy. I don't know if you're on or not.
Who was that? Jack?
Yeah, I'm on here
tonight.
Yeah, he's there. I see
Yeah,
Jack
buddy,
on
I
the
got
list.
your pens. Thank you.
Jack,
You're welcome.
Hey, so here's my plan right now. I got my nephew joined the Navy. He's just about finished up with all his school. He's supposed to come home on his first leave in September. I'm going to pretty much pile him up with the stockpile of pens y'all are sending me now, spread the wealth out and give the Navy some pens in September. And then between September and sometime in December, whatever I get, I'll do a Christmas push to everyone, and then, you know, we'll just go from there. So that's the plan. So if I got any Navy turners out there that specifically want some pens to go to the Navy, I'm going to try and make that happen in September.
great. And folks, if you need more details on what to do with your Freedom Pens, it's on our website, www.worldwidewoodturners.org. That's you see right there. It's on our site. You find Doug's address, ship them directly to Doug, and he'll put them directly in the hands of those people protecting our freedom. I believe in it. I've been there. Thank you, Doug. Good to see you tonight. Hey, Doug, did you get the replacement door in yet?
Not the replacement door, but the doors hung that I did get. And so tomorrow, I'm supposed to have part 2 of my final inspection. I had a final inspection, but they found some discrepancies. So contractor made all those corrections, getting inspected again tomorrow. All goes well. I'm moving in this weekend.
Good. All right. Doug's put a new shop up at his home. He's been keeping us up to date on it. He wanted the garage door or the overhead door to match the other overhead door, and that didn't happen. So he's got a temporary in place right now. But he's got a beautiful shop coming up. We'll look forward to seeing him there. And he's willingly done demonstrations for us in the past. In fact, he was probably one of the first folks we had do a demonstration for us. So we look forward to getting Doug Rowe back. He's our first sergeant. He's active Army in Arizona. Takes it really serious, which I'm happy for. Okay, if you got something to show tonight, you got to let Dane know. Dane will introduce you. And when he says
I'm going to be super rusty because I haven't heard in a long time. So quite a good demo on what not to do.
There you go.
Hey, I'm starting all over again. I know what not to do. Don't rush anything.
Hey, Eddie, can you set me up for co-host?
I thought I did, Dane.
You did, and then it came off.
Oh, I don't know why it came off. I'm going to fix it right now. There you go. You're in again.
Now we can go to Joaquin.
Joaquin's
Go ahead and
back.
start, and we'll take a look at your piece.
Hang on, let me get out to the shop. Sorry, we got a big thunder. Whoa. Just a sheet of lightning just went right across the sky.
As long as we didn't see it up close, we're all right.
Yeah, well, it's mighty close. So I'm working on an urn. I handle a service dog. I wrote a couple of books about service dogs. And when somebody's service dog passes, I make an urn for them, free of charge. And so I've got this, I got inspired. Let me see if I can, here we go. I got inspired, get you some light. Maybe I can flip the camera. I got inspired. Come on, turn around. Give me the other camera. There we go. I got inspired to do kind of a, the ancient Greek wine pitchers, but this handle is, I think it's too small. So we got walnut, cherry burl, and the top, excuse my messy shop, I've been turning hard for 3 days. The top is going to be live edge, and you can't really see, but this actually gives it a little bit of a spout. So it'll be like the spout of the top of the wine bottle. I guess it would be opposite of the handle. But I'm not happy with this handle. I don't know. I don't know. I need opinions. Does this handle need to be made wider?
Wider or bigger?
Looks like a little bit wider.
Yeah, it's just too dainty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking a little thin there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I would
won't
say
tell
a
you how
little
many hours
thicker.
I sat in that chair carving. I really wish I had a scroll saw. If I had a scroll saw, that handle would have been done at 10 this morning. But otherwise, yeah, I think this piece is coming together, and I can't wait till I get the top done. I see it in my head. I see exactly what this looks like in my head, and it's hard to describe it. But this actually comes up in a spout shape, and this will be how it seals. So you wouldn't actually pour, obviously, because it's an urn, but this will be how the urn seals, and it'll look like the spout at the top of the wine jug.
Yeah, look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Beautiful.
pretty piece.
That'd be cool.
Getting there.
Real nice
Yeah.
piece.
Gonna be nice.
That's gonna come off. So I'm thinking similar shape, but I want to get more of a. I can't aim it. I want to get more of a hip. I like this part. I like that curve. I'm going to keep that curve, but I want more of a hip and a curl here at the top, and I think it's got to be almost twice this width.
Yeah, I think that would be a good starting point.
Yeah, that's like I said. If I had a scroll saw, this would have been done.
You could use a coping saw or a hacksaw to rough
No, I
shape it,
did.
and then some
Yeah,
sort of
I
Dremel.
did. I cut it with a coping saw, and then I sat down with the Dremel and carved, and I think I just got too excited about getting the shape close to what I wanted and carved too much. So
You can't put it back on as fast, can you?
no, not at all. Not at all.
Beautiful,
That's all I got.
piece. We'll have to see when it's complete.
I got two 12-inch maple bowls in their own shavings. That one that all my carving stuff is in. That one was in silica for 2 days. It's dry, ready to turn. So I'll be making big monster bowls for the next couple of days after I finish this and get this off the lathe.
All right, we'd love to see them, bud.
I'll be posting pictures.
Yeah, and remember, folks, we do collect photographs of your work and we use them. With newsletter, website, I'd like to see them on Facebook, but please share them with us by sending them to our email address or right there on our website. There's a connection where you can send us a document on it and getting some great photographs. I'm still producing those promos that I have access to some programs that we can keep doing this. And we're getting some feedback on them, getting a little attention. We ran one today, 150 or 200 views already today on it. We like these promos because they let folks know where we are, what we're doing, and we want them to come on in and join us. And that's what it's all about. Come on in and join us. Thank goodness for a benefactor. We can handle 300 people a night. And we're looking to break that record too. All right, who else we have? Dane Chandler has our gallery.
We got Dave.
There, Doug.
There he is.
Looking for me?
Yeah.
All
Man,
right. Well, I got a couple of things for you tonight. One, last week I showed you the oak dish that Radar sent me, and Radar's on with us tonight. Anthony Rourke, and Radar, I'm glad you're here. Here's the piece. You can see it up close and personal. There's the spalt right there in the very top, and it's was pretty punky on the inside, but worse than that was all of this on the back bottom. Let me back it up just a little bit. That was pretty rough through here, and it was punky to say the least. But we added some super glue. I got so many great suggestions last week, but I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. So we just added the thin CA to all the punky area. When I returned the tenon, it was still pretty punky down underneath. I had exposed some of it. So I did a second application of CA, and that was all I needed to get it done. That's got a wax finish now. And I will put it in the mail going back to Radar tomorrow. So Anthony, here it comes, buddy.
It's a beautiful piece, really a beautiful
Really
piece.
looks nice.
Yeah, the spunking, it has some great character, but even the wood, there's some, let's see, where is it? Well, it's all over. But down in this area right here, there's some, what I call lacing. I've only seen it a few times where it looks like the grain kind of expands, almost extrudes itself. It's just makes for a gorgeous piece, a lot of character to it. But then one of the many communities that has popped up with COVID, one of the maker communities, there's a big one over in Great Britain. There are a number of us from the United States that are part of it. One guy last week turned a vase on a live, and one of the other fellows said, well, that looks like a great idea. Why don't we make this vase week? So this was vase week. So I picked up this piece of wood. This is a piece of, I debated what it was for a long time, but that's Osage orange. It is hard as a rock. Just a simple bud vase. It's not a big opening, but it's about 6 1/4 or 6.5 inches tall. Again, just a wax finish, simple design, but it was something, just a lot of good practice. Used a bowl gouge primarily on this, not much else. So that's what I have for this week.
You hollowed it? I gotta go back to, did you hollow it?
It's just
out?
drilled.
Just a drill, okay.
Yeah. I just wanted it to be a bud vase. I wanted it nice and sturdy. So did not hollow the fat section out. I thought about it and just decided not to.
Well, it's beautiful work. I love it.
It's gorgeous.
Looks wonderful.
Nice and simple, good skill builder.
Yep, skill builder. There you go. Now you got an idea.
I love Osage orange.
Yeah.
Thank you,
nice.
Doug.
Thank you,
Beautiful
guys.
work. Doug is
Jack.
another one of our co-hosts because he helps the organization make all this happen. You may hear us refer to co-host. It's like that guy right there, Cade. He's one of our co-hosts because these folks all make your wood turning work. And in the chat just now, I put a thing on. It's a YouTube link, and it's YouTube, and it's got the whole pilot number letters behind it. It's a skew demonstration. Ronnie sent that to me yesterday, and said this guy really knows how to use a skew. It's what, 12 or 14 minutes long. It is awesome. It is awesome. You have to watch the fluid presentation of what he did. Codes, beads, captive rings, same tool, everything. And it was continuous. He had it sharp enough to do all that without going back and grinding the heck out of it or stoning it or anything else. He knew how to work his tool and didn't overwork it. And it was not a fancy piece of wood. Ronnie, was that 2x4 that guy was turning?
No, it wasn't a 2x4, but that guy really could control the skew, right? He did some things that you would think could be Alan Lacer or somebody like that using it. I mean, he made that thing walk and talk, you know?
Oh, beautiful work he did. Beautiful work. So, and I put that link in the chat. And I got to mention, I will say it a few times this evening, the chat is a free for all. You can put anything in our chat. We're non-political. We are non-religious in this program. We do not have endorsements, sponsors, or anybody that we're married to that we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that. Everything is a free for all. But chat is where you can put that information. So if you prefer to promote somebody or something like that, in the chat, throw it in the chat. Before you leave tonight, save the chat. And if you miss it, our webmaster, Dave, puts it on our website. And I think last week's entire program was up on the website today, wasn't it, Dave?
It is. It is up here, but it came up a little late. So
All right.
as of this evening, you should be able to find it.
All right. And then he takes excerpts out of different demos and puts them in a separate file, and all that's on our site. And if you have a website, like I have a website, this guy's got, yeah, everybody's got websites nowadays, or just about everybody. Tell Dave, give me your website name, your name, and he has a roster, and he puts you in that package. So if you want to know, hey, what did Kay Bolger do today? You can go to Kay Bolger's website and see. Or if you need to know more about a demonstration that he's doing, or where Doug Miller's got that Osage orange at, or something like that. Most of these guys have their own sites. So go to them and find out. Ron Radliff, today I made contact with Levi Woodard. Oh, Ron's out there. We used to.
That's a name from the past.
Yeah, remember that? That was 7, 8 years ago since I did that program on Ustream. I think it was Ustream. We used to meet on Wednesdays and Saturdays in the workshop. And Levi was a young man at someplace in mid-America, a great young man. And he's a firefighter. And there was a Facebook article about him today. So I wished him well and hope he'd join us. I told him how to get in and visit with us. Just like you folks, invite your friends, invite your turning buddies.
Canadian, you know?
All right, Dane, we ready to go back to gallery, sir?
Yes, we are. Jack from Texas. Go ahead and start talking, Jack. And
All right, I'm talking. I'm on here. Do you see me yet?
I got you, Jack.
Oh, there you go.
Get it back to you.
Down here in Texas. There I am.
Huh?
I sent Phil a text. They
We
said,
had a,
I just seen on Facebook.
Hold
that
on,
everything's
Jack. Hold on.
Let everybody know I'm happy for you guys and
okay, sounds like you got that muted now. I'm still on. Okay, our club this month had a challenge for making birdhouses. So I thought, well, I'll make a birdhouse that can be used as a toothpick holder. So I made this little birdhouse. That's a little red bird right there. There it is. You got me out there?
Yeah.
We got you.
Okay, I wasn't hearing anything, so I wasn't sure. So I made that one. Now I started off, like I said, I wanted to make it a toothpick holder. And so I had this thing on a lathe and I started, making the shape and it was a good length for a toothpick holder when it was like that.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, but dummy forgot that I needed to take some space out to make the lid. Well, now it's too short for a toothpick holder.
No, you got to get short of toothpicks. That's all.
Yeah, well, I need to turn some toothpicks. Yeah, so I made another one. This one's too big for toothpicks, but I made another one here. This is another one of my birdhouses. I got a little bird inside this one, but it's also got a lid on it.
They're beautiful. I love them.
Very nice.
I don't have any clue what kind of wood either one of these were. This one was from a piece on my cutoff shelf. They're not scrap wood, just cutoff shelf. And this one was just a limb I happened to have laying out there. And I said, I think I'll make another one, just make some natural edge on the roof. So that's my two birdhouses.
That's nice. Hey,
Beautiful.
Bill Goff,
I
you
love
with us tonight?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm here.
All right, Bill, what do you think about those birdhouses? You're a birdhouse aficionado.
Well, he did a nice job. I like it, but he didn't put many toothpicks in it.
Well, I need to turn some for this one because it's too short. Well, I got to back up a little bit. See this little bird right here? You can't see it, but the bird is sitting on a toothpick, so it does have a toothpick on it.
Oh, all right. You
Okay.
blowed yourself out there, bud.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
These are the first birdhouses I've made.
Thank you, Jack. They're beautiful. All right, folks, if you got a gallery item tonight, pop up there and show it to us. We'd like to see it. And it invites some thinking on our members and creates some ideas. I played on something in the shop this week, and I used the tip that Matt Mabry gave us. I used the tip that Cade gave us, and another one. And all of them in the shop, I've never used tools the way I used them this week in order to get this done, because I got them right here. Got the tips right here. The world's greatest wood turning club. All right, anybody else for gallery? We'll go to Dane as our gallery master. Put it in the chat. He'll call on you. When he starts talking about you, it's your turn to talk.
All right, we got Susan's iPad.
Hi there.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, how you doing?
Ronnie saw a couple of these last week, but you guys didn't. I chickened out at the last minute. But I made this one. It's a spalted something, I don't know. But, and I didn't like the finish with the triple E, so I put varnish on it, and it came out pretty good. And I started practicing with acrylics.
Oh, keep practicing, lady. That's looking good.
Oh, nice.
And then I did this one.
I like their color combo. It really dances.
And this one I did for my sister. She likes purple and aqua.
Ooh,
That's nice.
gorgeous.
And
Very
I
colorful.
those with those little sanding pads. And then I did the triple E, but then after the triple E, I took them off the mandrel and used the varnish on them, and it really brought it out.
Wow.
If you
You've done
remove
good on
this,
all of them.
the deal is if you remove the scratches, the color would just jump through it. But you have to get the scratches going.
But that's what I think.
Nice job.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really pretty.
Very nice.
Thank you, Susan. Appreciate you showing tonight. Folks, this is an open forum now. If you've got something to show, put it in the chat and we'll get there. I mean, I'm seeing some things on chat tonight that people are popping up with. We're gonna have a great program with these folks.
Getting a good turnout so far.
Yeah, great. And everybody's got something to show. And that's what we really want to see. What do you have to show?
All right,
Get my
Billy.
brain cooking. Uh-oh.
I got something to show. I made a clock. This is
There you
a
go.
piece of cypress, and pretty much just some other scrap pieces of wood just to get color coordination. But I'm gonna make a dozen of these. This is the first one, just trying to get all the angles and everything in proportion. So it wasn't too bad out of proportion, but it's just something different to turn, something cool. The ringers themselves were probably the biggest challenge out of all of it. But other than that, that's pretty much all I've got this week.
We got a
That's
photograph
awesome.
of it. We put it on the
Parfex.
website.
It's a Parfex finish on it. It does really well with the soft cypress wood. It makes it do really well. Get a decent finish on a soft wood. You know.
The ringers, are the ringers one piece?
Yeah. I don't have anything glued right now. I'm still working in proportions, but yeah, they're just one piece.
Of course.
This is some maple. Some maple. I think Miss Brenda had posted a picture of this last week, and I said, "Man, I want to make one of those."
Yeah,
So
somebody
I did.
on my Facebook had made one.
And everybody loves the
post it.
cypress with character. Cypress without any character, nobody likes. But yeah, it turned out really well for the prototype, you know. But I'm gonna make at least a dozen of them.
It's nice work, really, really nice.
All right,
Really
have a good one.
And we're using the photograph on our website and our promos, and it'll be on our newsletter. So when you send us a photograph, we love it. Please just send us a photograph of your work. If you send it to us, rather than us take it off of Facebook or something else, we can do more with the resolution. So just think, if you bother to put it there, bother to put it with us. All right, who's up?
Don Wilson, come on down.
I'm here. Am I
We
muted still?
That's
Nope,
you,
we
that's
got-
me, we're here.
There we are. Okay. Well, I started out making a toothpick holder and I figured it was too short. So we
I don't
turned
know,
that-
look, we just tried one a little while ago, it was nice and short.
Well, I guess we could lay them inside, but but it's I found this at a flea market. And I don't know where to find any more. And I've seen a wood turner did something similar to this with a bunch of what you call potpourri boxes. But he wasn't manning his booth to find out where he got the things. So does anybody know? I mean, my wife.
PSI.
What's
PSI
Penn
has
State Industries?
Penn State.
Penn State Industries got several versions, several
really?
shapes and colors. Yes, sir.
Wow. I mean, my wife has done all kinds of word searches and whatever on Amazon and the internet and can't find, didn't know what to call it, I guess, number one.
Potpourri cover.
But anyhow, it's I just finished it about an hour ago. It took about 15 minutes. Piece of walnut with Parfex finish on it. And
nice.
so, and
Very nice.
my granddaughter loves
Beautiful.
candles, so that's hers, I guess. You know, so
There you go.
Beautiful.
Penn State. Okay, appreciate it.
Penn State. All right.
Doesn't Kim usually get those at secondhand stores? Stuff like that?
Yeah, that's, she's
Yeah.
not with us tonight. She's got a waiters on, waiting for the storm.
Oh, yeah.
I did a wedding gift and it had two hearts that were interlaced, and I got that from PSI. And it was reasonable. It wasn't very expensive.
I probably got a couple in that bag that the wife took down from the attic, because I did bunches of them for birthday and Christmas presents, but that year I had them all done and well. Okay, who else we have a
Billy?
gallery tonight?
This is one of
There
the
you
ones
go.
from Penn State.
Whoa, well, put that back up there. Randy?
Yeah. Yeah, this is Randy. This is one of the ones from Penn State Industries. They have several. They have a rose. They have these, a couple of abstract designs. You can get them in sets of 4. So that's the one from Penn State Industries.
I thought maybe Tree Line had them at one time, but there was another source for them.
When I go to Penn State, what do you call them? What are they?
Potpourri. Just look for potpourri.
Yeah, potpourri lid.
And these are about 3 inches across.
But hey, fit them to a piece before you put the bead into your piece. Fit them to a piece of junk first to make sure they're not all exact.
Hey, Ed.
Hey,
Hey, Packard Woodworks also sells them, and they're called filigree bowl lids.
filigree bowl lids.
Filigree bowl lids. FILIGREE.
All right. Thank you.
PackardWoodworks.com.
Hey, Eddie,
Go ahead. Back that up a little bit.
There you go.
all right, that's Penn State.
Yeah.
And you got your hummingbirds, you got several there, and it goes on. So
Put the link in the chat.
yeah, I'll put the link in chat.
Sweet.
Eddie Peachtree in Atlanta also has them.
Peachtree. See, I was getting them in a couple of different places. But I just didn't know which one.
If they got a website, folks, let's put it in the chat.
That's how we share this information. You download the chat, you go back to it when we finish the program, it's in our webmasters, puts it up there so you have the information. Why would we know it and share it without keeping track of it? All right.
Lee Valley also carries them.
We're really getting a pile here.
Lee Valley, yeah.
I love Lee Valley.
I
They
know,
got some
me
unique
too.
tools.
Like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Are you near Scarborough?
Say again?
Kate, are you near Scarborough?
Yeah, I'm not too far from Scarborough. It's 20 minutes west.
All right, my aunt used to live there, but her son and granddaughter still live there, so that's kind of neat. They
Oh,
always
cool.
tell me, come up, visit, and we'll go live at Lee Valley. I'd say, okay, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
right.
Wow, small world.
Yep, for
Yep.
sure.
All right, who's on gallery right now? It's a little bit after the top of the hour. We got time. Let's see what you got. If
Well,
you got
we
a
got-
problem, talk about it. Let's go.
Doug is waiting.
Hi there.
Doug Smith.
Doug Smith, yes. I just want to show this
Pull it back. There
piece
you
of
go.
maple. And soft maple. Beautiful piece of figure and detail to it. I like my design. I'm open to any suggestions, yes, no, otherwise. But I have some questions. I'm having problems in putting my finish on. I get some nice gloss, and then I get these real dull spots. And I sanded and sanded and sanded and whatever. So anybody got any thoughts on helping me with these dull spots?
I want to throw a question out there. Did you use a sealer?
Yes, I did.
What was your sealer?
My sealer was the Zinsser sanding sealer, mixed 50-50 with the DNA.
Okay, that should have sealed up the surface. One coat or two coats, or
2 coats, and I made a point of putting them out in the bright sunshine, so they dried really hard. And I'm just having a hard time with those dull spots.
I would make a guess just to say you need just more finish.
Okay.
You know, a couple more coats, maybe 3 or 4 more coats. Sometimes you'll just have a soft spot that just absorbs like a sponge and you just need more finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
Are you
and
standing
if
in
you
between?
Sometimes the end grain will absorb more than the face grain also.
Yeah, that's where they are, is in the end grain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So you could put a couple more coats.
I use the 3M pads to kind of scuff in between coats. The ultra fine, the white pad. So I was trying to take the tooth off from it. And
When I was doing furniture, the rule of thumb was to put, when you're sanding, to sand 1 or 2 points above what you were doing on face grain or side grain wood. And that way you wouldn't have that problem. So if you know it's end grain and you've already got it up to 400, you might want to go up to 600 on the end grain.
okay, I did take that up to 400 on a power sander and hand sander.
Yeah,
Just
well,
couldn't get that fuzz out of it.
then on the end grain, you'd put it up to 600.
Okay. Good
The other
advice.
is, you dry sanded the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Okay, an experiment I would try is to, at your 400 mark, 320, 400 mark, is to wet it down, let it rise, and then sand it some more. You may be compressing or burnishing some materials when you go above that, if they won't slice out the way because they weren't prone or getting pointed up, you may not be able to knock them down. Whereas if you wet it, let it dry, and go back through it, you've removed some of the fuzz that would you sometimes compress.
And are you talking wet it with DNA or water?
Water.
Water, okay.
Yeah.
Use a wet dry paper on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Be
thank you.
surprised at the finish you'll get. It will eliminate a lot of scratches that you'd be getting from sandpaper, because you can't really burnish in with wet sanding. I don't believe you can, because you're moving enough materials. And the beauty of wet sanding is you're moving the materials as you're removing them. It's when you remove them and they stay on the paper that you burnish. And I've been in demonstrations where I've seen guys sand, and I'm saying, I don't know where you started, but you started at the wrong level, because all you've done so far is burn in that finish, and it's not going to stay. They had the same problem you're having right now. They put a finish on it, had to rise.
I just want to say that I just like that shape. I like the shape of that bowl.
Like it.
I do too.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
It was
Nice shape.
a little different.
Nice.
So
Pretty wood.
It
yes,
looks
I've got a whole pile out in front of my shop of just exactly the same stuff.
Okay, y'all want his address, folks? Let me know.
Going up the way in the fall, maybe I'll swing by.
Long drive to New Hampshire, but you're welcome to come share.
I'm going to Massachusetts, you know, so New Hampshire's just across the border.
Yeah, it is. What part of
Okay.
Mass you going to?
Springfield?
Yeah, you're hour and a half north, south
Yep.
of that.
Yep.
Bring your
Your
trailer.
family lives down there.
All right. Hey, Bob Moffitt's in the house.
Hey,
Is
how
that
you
where we're
doing?
heading?
Bob, how you doing?
Hey, you got something for gallery tonight, Bob Moffett?
I do.
We got
Just
him on
a
the
piece of- It's the a bird perch.
Bird perch.
Bird
perch.
perch.
Can you see me?
We'll get you back.
There
We
you
got,
are.
I hadn't gone anywhere. I'm just sitting right here.
All right. Well, Doug had pushed you out the way.
Piece I sort of turned and carved. I wanted to try something different. And so,
Wow, that's nice.
oh, that's beautiful.
you know,
Wow.
put some texture on the bottom. Never done anything like that before, so I thought I'd give it a try.
Well, it came out nice.
Nice
Thanks
job.
for the
Good
birdhouse.
looking.
Pretty.
That's really nice.
That's
Thank
a
you.
nice one, Bob.
Where does
Looks
the bird
nice.
go in at?
Where's the bird hole at?
I don't see a
It's
bird
up
hole.
here.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
That's where the bird goes.
No, Bob is our birdhouse master. That's we keep coming back to him when he's got a birdhouse to show. Not that the rest of you can't do birdhouses. Bob does some really nifty birdhouses. Give you a lot of thought. So thank you, Bob. That's beautiful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jumping
All right.
out in new areas there.
Joe
And
Klein.
go ahead. Who's that? Joe Klein out of Metairie.
Well, I started out something very simple, and Eddie, I'm taking your challenge to heart. I started out simple with a skew, a little bottle stopper.
With a
completely
skew.
With a skew.
All right.
Very
From
nice.
scratch.
Very nice.
It'd been a while since I used a skew, so I started something simple and small. And then I moved on to something bigger. My brother-in-law asked for a bowl, and he gave me some suggestions on what he wanted. So 12 inches by 5 inches.
Wow.
Has
Nice.
walnut, cherry, maple in it. He wants 4 more of them now. So
That's what you get for being so good.
That's what happens to you when you do too good a job.
Yes,
Yep.
How
that
did you
is
keep
beautiful.
how did you keep your walnut from bleeding into your maple?
there, I wiped it down. I wet sanded it quite a bit, and then I concentrated the sanding on the maple to prevent that.
Man, that
But
turned out
the-
nice.
The first few times that I was sanding it, I was having major bleed with it. So yes, it took a while. So
How'd you
now I need to do 4 more of them.
How'd you do the inside of that with a skew?
I didn't use a skew at all on that one.
See, I figure we have to have him do the demo instead of Cade next time.
No, I'm not that good at skewing. So,
But that
Yeah,
bottle
make
stopper
it-
came out nice.
yes.
Yeah.
Make you a big one and core it out and make a nested set. That would be nice if you have a coring system.
Yeah, I don't have one of those yet. So that's what
the
I did this
operative
week.
word, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. And Joe turned in a lot of wig stands. We're still pushing for this wig stand. We call it a wig stand challenge. But make a wig stand that people who medically now need to wear wigs, not me, the other folks. Give them a wig stand that they can use. Your local oncology group can do it. Your local hospital can do it. And even your local hospice organization can take care of them for you. But Joe's been really good at turning them in, and we're well over 100. Maybe we're close to 200. Our webmaster keeps track. If you turn them, just give them a count. Tell them how many you turn, and send us a photograph of your work. That's how we got a hold of Joe. Joe went and gave a whole stack of them to the East Jefferson Hospital in Metairie, whole group of them. And they had them all packaged up. It was a very nice gift for people who really appreciate those kinds of gifts at this time. It's our wig stand challenge. You're becoming a wig stand warrior with that. Who else is up for gallery tonight, sir?
Well, we got Bill out of Georgia. Hey, Bill.
There
Good
he is.
evening. Good evening. I turned a
Uh-oh.
teapot. I
That's
think it,
gorgeous.
I think it is Google. They said it could be pine oak. Now it's a tree off of my son's property, and we went back and cut it. I power carved the handles and the spout, and of course, being what I'm doing now, I've included a toothpick holder.
Oh man,
That is awesome.
I snuck one. I
That
snuck
is
one in.
cool.
I snuck one in there, and that would look nice on a table, thinking it's a cream pitcher or a teapot.
it really does.
I
Oh,
guess
it's beautiful.
thank you.
Love it.
That's gorgeous.
Really nice.
Yeah.
That would be great. Charcuterie board. You could have that to pick up your cheese.
I'm sorry.
Sticks to. You could use that in a charcuterie board to pick up your cheese. And, stuff. That would
Yeah.
look really. Yeah, it would look
Yeah,
really
that
nice.
would be interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Bill, you may have us into a challenge for a toothpick holder there.
Well,
I mean, we've seen some really beautiful stuff in the last couple of months.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Really nice. I mean, I had to snap a couple of screenshots of that because I'm still getting pressure to turn a coffee pot. Tea urn, not a coffee pot, a tea urn. All right, is somebody else up for gallery? We'll roll over there right now.
Oh, we got quite a few here. Let's see. Gary Burns. Come on
Hey.
down.
Talk,
How
Gary.
you guys do? How you doing? I'll switch my camera so you can actually see. I believe that's okay. I've been playing a lot with the Sorby texturing tool, and I'm in BC, so we're very lucky. We have a lot of gorgeous wood. And this piece right here is cherry, and you can see the band around it. I left a big knot in it. I would have had to reduce the size of the bowl, so I thought it was cool to leave that knot in. And then I was able to be able to do some texturing on the inside of the bowl to make it pretty, and also underneath the bottom to create a bit different thing on that. That's cherry. And then there was a maple one sitting here, the same
Ooh.
sort of thing. Absolutely large bowl, it's about 15 inches, and did the same thing. Textured the bottom to give a character on the bottom as well. So it's something I've been doing with the Sorby texturing tool, was part of it. And since we have such beautiful wood up here, this is all chestnut. It's actually soft. People think chestnut's good, but it's actually very, very soft wood. And anyway, those are a couple of pieces there. And because of the maple burls, these are Lazy Susans that I made. And I hunted high and low for bearings that were better than these damn bearings you buy. And I ended up using pulleys that were out of the gymnasium that'll hold 350 pounds. And I was able to come up with putting bearings on these things to give me a spin like that. And there's another small one right there, same thing. Just to make, and I used resin. I hand carved out the pockets in there and put in a blue resin to give them a prettier look. And the last, thank you. The last one I showed, Art Leishman, I don't know if you guys know him. He's world class. He teaches all over the place. He had us do some burning. And so this was an Indian mahogany, and it was completely torched. And the only way I was able to keep wood on the top and the bottom was I left the top and the bottom as a large donut. We burnt the whole piece, and then I was able to turn the top and bottom donut out to get around and have wood on the top and bottom. And the whole inside has been textured and then dry brushed to give that effect on that. So the whole thing has actually been a torch, and then made a little finial top and a pop lid. They fit inside. And that was because of a class I took with Art Leishman. So that's my stuff.
Thank you, Gary. It's beautiful stuff. I'd like to get some photographs for our website, if you would, please.
Sure. No, I can send them to you.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Gorgeous. Very nice.
Gorgeous work.
Very nice.
Oh, we're seeing some art here tonight, aren't we, folks? This is fantastic. Some great ideas coming forth. All right, we're going to continue doing gallery here. And as we've said before, you got something, put it in the chat. Dane Chandler handles our gallery from Arizona, and he'll introduce you. And as soon as he does, talk.
Scott Teague, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead, Scott.
Hey,
Well,
Scott.
I turned some pens this last week too. This is a piece of acrylic resin, kind
Pull
of
it
a
back towards
purplish
you.
color.
Pull it right towards your face, sir. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's great.
So that's just polished. There's no finish on it. I just polished the plastic. I
Okay.
use McGuire's 105 to polish it. That's one of them. Here's another one that's got a little bit of design in it. It's also plastic, acrylic resin. And then I had to make a couple pieces for Eddie. So here's a bottle stopper out of tulip wood.
Oh, I
man.
love tulip.
Now you're stealing my heart, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
And then I made
Gorgeous.
another one. This is tulip poplar with a jewelry stone in the top.
Nice.
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
nice.
Wow.
Wow.
I saw
Very
a lot of these with the
yes.
jewelry stone. The ladies love that jewelry
Man.
stone in the top.
They do, and you can
Wow.
get those in a myriad of sizes. And you got to make each cup. I don't know why it's just not uniform. Each one has to be cut right for them, but it's nice.
Yeah, they're never completely round. They're kind of odd shaped sometimes, but they're a natural stone, so you get what you get.
Yep, but they're all beautiful.
Where
Yep.
do you get your stones at?
I buy this particular stone came from Michael's, believe it or not.
Okay.
We have a Michael's not too far from where I live, so that's what this one came from. Most of my stones I buy in a place where my cabin is up north. They sell the Indian ladies sell hand cut stones, so those are a little tougher to put in the top of the stoppers because they're never round. Because they're handmade. They're hand cut out of stones from Wisconsin and all over the country, I think.
Well, that's
I
beautiful.
I saw a
Nice.
YouTube video on how to trim those stones, and actually you can do it on your lathe.
Yeah, if I sometimes trim them with diamond bits in my rotary tool on a lathe to get them more round or round the edges over sometimes. So sometimes I polish them that way.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it, sir.
All right, Scott Hampton.
Hello. So you guys are showing, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we
We're gonna talk a little more.
Yeah, am I there? Yeah, there we are. So you guys are showing birdhouses, so I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. Little acorns. There's a quarter to give you an idea how big it is.
Wow.
Aw.
You probably get the Kim Tippin Award for no scrap wood.
Aw, that's so cute.
It's about the size of an actual acorn. That's what I was going for. So.
It looks like a birdhouse. Very cute.
Well, that's all I got this week.
Beautiful work. Thank you for sharing today.
Beautiful. Very nice.
Is Kim in the house tonight? I don't see her log up.
Oh,
All right.
hi everyone.
Kay's with us though.
I just have my camera set up because the stuff I'm going to show looks better on my other camera. So I'll switch cameras here. And this week I worked on a few things. Here's one bowl, fairly just an ash bowl. But when I looked at this, I wanted to orient the knot in the middle of the bowl to create an eye effect. And it turned out beautifully with all the feathering and chatoyance caused by the crotch. So that's the inside of the bowl with the finish all finished, ready to buff. And then the back side still needs to be signed and shined up to the same quality. But you can see how that really brings out the chatoyance and the curl within that wood.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's beautiful.
And also this week, I
Peace.
made a couple urns. So I made my grandma's urn, which is this one here. So the body is curly poplar, which will really pop when the finish really gets onto it.
I just gotta
It
say,
will-
whoa.
It will be laser engraved with her name birthday and birthplace. The lid is Wenge, and the finial is Carigana, which is a windbreaker shrub, which lines the perimeter of the family cattle ranch out in Alberta. So my grandfather and I harvested a whole bunch of this wood from our family cattle ranch. And when my grandpa passed away, he had a finial that was from the wood that we harvest together. So it's only fitting for my grandmother to have a similar matching finial from the same wood that came from their family ranch. And this is what it looks like in its raw form. Here it is here. But look at that beautiful color within it.
Wow.
Bright yellow with purples, reds, ambers, browns.
Gorgeous.
And it really makes that finial pop.
Oh, it does.
Yes,
Good
it
looking.
does.
And what
Gorgeous.
finish do you use?
That is just a matte finish so far. That only has one coat on it, but it will be shined up to this.
Right. What finish do you use to get that kind of finish?
This is tung oil, polymerized tung oil. Many, many, many coats, and then many, many, many more coats.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
He's showing us much work with that. It is a fantastic finish.
And then I also made my dad's urn this week. So here's my dad's urn, and I'll show you how it started out first, because I'm actually making a matching set for his wife who hasn't passed yet. But when she passes, they will both be buried together in a matching set. So here's the piece of walnut I started for the body of the urn. This is going to be the opening. This was the bottom of the urn. The lid is bird's eye maple.
Nice.
Maybe you can see it better here.
I love the bullets. Oh, man, they
Yeah,
pop.
it's gorgeous.
Yep, bird's eye maple. And then it has a Carigana finial. So here it is finished. Well, it only has one coat of oil so far. So again, it will be as shiny as that bowl, and it will be engraved with his name. So here is the walnut.
Oh,
beautiful.
Look at that chaton.
Gorgeous.
There's some curl in it here, which is really gonna pop when I get that finish on there.
Yeah.
That finial looks awesome on that walnut.
And then here I have the bird's eye maple. It has a lot more birds in this one.
Oh,
Bird eyes.
It's gorgeous.
And then the finial again is the Carigana. And I did like a Hershey's Kiss flame. So it's like in the eternal flame with the golden interior, with the amber and the purple exterior. But also they were really, one of their favorite treats was the Hershey's Kiss. So that's his urn, and hers will match. And then last but not least, I just have a tiny little box I did. And this is one of my small footed boxes. This is 1 3/4 inch diameter by 4 inches in height. And
Wow.
it has turned, carved feet. We can see here. And then a maple finial for color contrast. It has some really nice curl in the walnut here.
Yeah, now we're getting a flash of it.
There we are.
Oh my goodness.
That's sweet.
So nice.
Very
nice.
Gorgeous.
Very
And
nice.
y'all took note of the size of wood that he used. So you have a scrap in the shop that'll do that.
Yeah, that started out at 2 inch by 2 inch by 2 1/4 inch piece of walnut, and then a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inch blank for the finial. And it was just sort of scrap pieces lying around, but I'm happy I used it because of the curl in this walnut really pops. I'm glad it wasn't just a scrap we're throwing in the burn pile, because there's no such thing as scraps. All wood has
That's
a
right.
purpose. It can
If-
be inlaid, it can be carved, indexed, it could be a finial, or it could be a fire starter. So all
Remember-
wood does have
Remember
does have
Kim Tippin's rule for us, there's no such term as scrap wood.
Cade, did you actually buff that? Like I've got I use tung oil as well, but you got quite a shine on there. Did you actually buff it after you finished putting the last coats on?
Sorry, my the volume on my phone went down as I took it out of this little thing. Do I buff what? The bowl?
Yeah, the tung oil. You're getting a real shine on that. And I use the polymerized tung oil as well, but that shine is really, really bright. I was just wondering if you buffed it after you finally finished.
Yes. See, you could see yourself in it there. We can see.
I see the phone.
I apply it generously, and I buff in between coats. The first few coats will absorb like a sponge. After that, I'll wipe on and wipe off until I get a good base coat, because that end grain will absorb wood like a sponge. So it will take more coats to build up the end grain to the surrounding side grain. But then once I have a good base coat, I just put on thin coats in between until I get up to the sheen I desire, where I can see myself in it or a reflection in it. But I sand in between each coat, and then I buff my final coat. So you can sand in between each coat with your desired gritted sandpaper. I tend to use, depending on the wood, I tend to use anywhere between a 400 to an 800 grit in between coats. And then my final coat is just buffed with micro mesh. You could use a Beal buffing system if you want, but you got to be careful. The white diamond will take the finish off within a matter of seconds. So you only want to go right to the wax buff.
And don't generate a lot
what
of
I
heat.
do, sorry?
If you generate a lot of heat, you'll wrinkle it. So don't generate a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's also why I don't use the Beal buffing system, because it can generate heat and the finish will oil, bubble, and ripple, and it can make a mess of your finish if it heats up. So what I do is I use micro mesh, and I sit on the couch with a little bowl of water, and just as fast as my hand can move as I watch TV, I go through the grits of the micro mesh.
Thank you. Thank you. That's helpful.
Are you training Cash to do that? It means to get that hand.
When he's old enough, it'll be cheap labor. He might be my little assistant, sanding and buffing, because.
Right.
Cade, what's the
Cade, when
size
you
of
do
your
walnut-
body of your urn?
Pardon?
What's the body
tall
size
of
on
my
your
urns?
urn?
The size on the urns?
Looks like 4.25.
They are 4-inch diameter. And with the finial, about 11.5 or 11.25, this one. The walnut one's smaller. The walnut one is 3 3/8 diameter. And it is 10.5 tall.
How
So
are
what's
you
the inside look like, Cade? Are they?
How are you judging the volume of the inside?
Yeah.
How do I judge the volume of the inside? Cubic inches to the weight of the person.
You use
Cubic
rice to
in-
fill it with, or how do you judge it? How do you measure it?
Yeah, that's a good question. You could use rice, you could use rolled oats, stuff like that, and then you sort of calculate the cubic inches that would fill.
Yeah, pour it on
Um,
into a measuring cup or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
through a measuring cup. The inside might be a little hard to see. Yep, I'll have to get out my little light here. Let me see.
I like those little lights.
Thanks. I love them. They're great. So let's see. Oh,
I got a pair of them when I took it out of the box. One of them was on when I took it out of the box.
actually, I'm gonna have to switch. I'll throw my camera back in my holder here because I have much better light from my overhead lights from when I'm doing demos and stuff. That's why it's better lighting from the top here. Oh, shoot. Sorry, what happened here?
I don't know. Who's that guy? Gerald Jensen says he used ground walnut shell to calculate volumes in urns. Pet stores sell walnut shell for hamster bedding.
Okay.
So there you go. Another idea.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, that's a great idea.
You know, you can pick up some wood shavings off the floor and put them in there too. You can measure that just as easy, and you already have that.
Hard to see in the walnut one, but we can see in them.
Hey, can you put that light stick down in the urn?
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
What's your wall thickness on them?
1/8 of an inch.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm a genius.
We know. We just hope you didn't brag on it.
Yeah. So the wall thickness is 1/8 of an inch all the way down. On the bottom, it's closer to 1/4 inch because I want a little bit of weight to keep if it got banged or bumped on the side of the table. I wouldn't want it to be top heavy and tip over. So the bottom is probably 1/4 inch, where the wall thickness and the rest of it is all 1/8 of an inch.
What did you hollow that with, sir?
I hollowed that with hand tools. I strong armed it with hand tools. I only have 2 carbides. One carbide is, I'll just grab them here and I can show you. So this is the 6mm Simon Hope hollowing tool. It is the one that goes in his hollowing rig, but I'm a little too frugal to buy a hollowing rig, so I strong arm it until my shoulders are no longer good, and then I will buy that hollowing rig. So this is what I did for majority of the center and getting down into the depth and cleaning up the bottom of my urn. And then for up and around the corner, the only other one I have, well, I have a couple smaller ones, like micro ones, but these are the only 2 big ones I have for doing urns. So this is an easy wood hollower, swan neck easy wood hollower that I just use to get up and around the corners. So nothing too high tech. It's all
No.
done with these 2 tools.
No, and they both operate on cutting wood about the same principle, and it's just how tough will you be on them? They won't be tough on you. It's how tough will you be on them?
Yes, you do. You can take heavier cuts on the initial, but once you start getting deep into that hollow form, you definitely want to be taking lighter cuts because it will give you that teeter-totter effect, lifting you up off the floor. So when I'm really down in here, I have the tool tucked under my armpit and I'm taking very light cuts because if I take too heavy of a cut, it will lift me off my feet.
Yeah.
Kate, are you using an easy rest to hold that further out so it doesn't move around?
No, I use my 2 foot, just my 2 foot one way to a rest.
Wow.
Yeah. and it just goes straight across here. Yeah. The opening is almost too, well, I could probably kitty corner something in there, or what you could use is you can actually buy box or hollowing tool rests. And I have one here I bought, but I've never used it yet. I've just never used it yet. So this would be the tool rest, and it has this little pin that you would pivot the tool on so you don't fall off, and it fits right in your tool rest. But with the long opening, you have more contact on the tool rest, so you're less likely to get that teeter-totter effect when you have more tool overhanging on the other side of the tool rest rather than in your hand on that side of the tool rest. That's when you start getting the teeter-totter effect. But if you use this, where you have much more surface area contact, because that goes in the mouth of the lathe here, or no, in the mouth of your hollow form here, and it supports your cut 4 inches into the hollow form. So I could be just as aggressive on those first 4 inches as I am on those other 4 inches if I use this, but I've just come accustomed to doing it the way I do it. So I've never used this tool rest that I bought for that purpose, but I have it for if and when I ever want to use it.
Yeah, I built one like it without the roll pin. I didn't know about the roll pin yet thing, but I built one like it for doing boxes. And at one point, I was doing a lot of small 3-4 inch deep boxes, and boy, it just completely changes how you present the tool. There's no bounce.
It's great because you pivoted on that pin. You see it, and I move. You go in, and you can move to the side of your hollow form. And most of that tool is always in contact with that tool rest. So you don't get that
blippity, yeah.
That teeter-totter effect when you're overhanging so far on your tool rest.
Folks, if you make one out of mild steel, make sure you buttress it, because mild steel will flex. But if you buttress it, you'll tight. I made mine out of mild steel, and it's a 3/8 inch platform and 3/8 inch buttress, and it works perfect. Just wish I'd go back to doing those boxes again, because when you can, they're a simple, beautiful project. Kay, great work this week. Thank you for sharing that. And those urns, they're beautiful. I love what you're doing to them.
Thanks,
and thanks for sharing that information about using the tongue oil, because we have a lot of guys saying, tongue what? What's that? Thank you, Cade.
Great job.
From
That little
Ontario,
6 inch
Canada.
that little 6 inch cutter will flat take out some wood too.
Oh
I've been,
yeah.
I've been
Oh,
watching
yeah.
some guys use that very tool, and they can eat some wood up with that little tiny cutter.
Yeah,
And
you
get this,
can
somebody
really-
said, I need a bigger one. Why? You know,
No.
you really don't want a big cutter. You can eat an elephant with a tablespoon. I mean, you could, you know, you don't need a big cutter, but it's beautiful work and handy as can be. Thank you, Cade. Cade's out of Ontario, Canada, and he does some pay-per-view classes occasionally, and he puts the information in our chat. And if you'd like to join up with him or visit with him, please do so. I tell you what, Cade, I ain't blowing smoke. You do fantastic demonstrations. You have stopped the clock on this program. One night you did 2 or 3 projects with no preparation. We put you cold to the floor and you turned, and I could hear people going, oh, look at that, you know, because you did it. Thank you so much, sir. Really welcome you being here.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, everyone. It's a pleasure. Pleasure to be here.
Why we're Worldwide Woodturners, folks, we go everywhere for everybody. We got a couple in tonight. I know we got Donald in from Australia, and we had the UK in a few minutes ago, but we're all talking wood turning. And if you want to talk, jump in. This is your wood turning club, and you're welcome to be part of it. And we are closed captioned. Right now, you see the live transmission has been enabled. And if you want to see the closed captioning, that's engaged. you click it on your screen and you will get it. Caution, if you turn on, if you turn on a closed caption, don't read it as you how to talk. It doesn't work as fast as a lot of our brains do. All right, Dane, who's up next, sir?
Well, we got David out of Michigan. What's up, David?
David, we see the top of your head, bud. Now we got you.
Can't hear
But
you.
we don't hear you. And we can't turn it on from here. So you have to do it from there. There you go, huh?
Still
Try
can't
it.
hear you, David.
Nope.
No.
Doesn't look like he's muted, but now he's muted.
Yeah,
Might
you're
be a
not
loose
coming through,
connection.
David.
Loose
How about-
connection with
how
the
about I
wire,
come back
maybe.
to you?
Now let's let
That
David
same
work on
problem
that.
earlier.
Oh, well, we'll get back to you, David. We'll keep checking and find out when we get it fixed. But some folks with pads and such give you a little difficulty on muting. But we have somebody else up in the bullpen for gallery tonight. Where we're going?
Well, we got James up.
James.
Uh-oh, you're
Your
muted.
turn, James.
Okay, hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. I made this little bracelet holder for the craft sales coming up. But my
Nice.
question is how much do I charge for it?
What is it? Oh, bracelet assistant?
Yes,
30, 40 bucks. Depends
30,
on your
40?
market too.
Okay,
But with the gold plating, I would save 30 to 50 bucks, depending on the wood.
that's great. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
all these in acrylic. I figure they have a better chance for a woman to buy them with acrylic than out of wood.
Take it down to
Order
the
that on.
shop. You can sell some there too.
Yeah, colorful and shiny. Women love them.
Yes.
All right, let's be
Order that
careful
on
about
Penn State.
No, these are craft supply and they don't stock them anymore.
Okay. I
I
know that
bought these about 2
some-
years ago. Pardon?
some of the items on Penn State, they will give you a suggested retail price.
Okay,
So if you, I believe they've got those on Penn State too.
okay.
Yeah, go to their
I'll search
website.
for that then.
Yeah, go to their website and like I said, some of the products they have a suggested retail price. Some of them they
Okay.
don't, but that might help you.
Okay,
Bria.
great. I appreciate it. Thanks.
That
Bria.
suggested retail price, so it doesn't include you buying acrylics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bria also sells a version. Bria is another supplier of pen kits or a maker of a specific type of pen kits.
Okay.
They also have a version of the bracelet assistants, but there's also a place up here in Ontario called William Woodwright. He also sells pen hardware, pen blanks, bottle stopper hardware, and he also does have those bracelet assistants. So you might actually, and when you buy in bulk, whenever you buy over a certain amount, you get a bulk price. But whenever you buy over a certain amount, you always get a gift in the package. So it might be the latest pen kit out or the latest pen carrying case, or so you always give some, he always gives something back for free. Great customer service because you always get something for free in your package. So you have something to look forward to.
What was
what
that
was the
again?
name of them again?
William Woodwright.
Okay.
And
And
it's
not
Somebody's
only-
gonna put it-
Wood,
somebody's gonna put it in chat for us tonight, correct?
and Wright is WRITE, not as if
Not
you're
only-
writing a letter. Yeah, William Woodwright. I'll actually get the
Okay.
website up here right now because it's probably in my browser.
Also, there are American neighbors below us. Cade actually get $30 exchange rate too, so it brings their price down.
Yeah, you would probably save money. Save money ordering it from Canada too, at the moment anyway.
Okay,
Right now, Penn State has got that, you get a retail between 12 and 35. And so they're saying the average right now is $21. for the average
Okay.
price for you selling that. And, you know, some people said they sold it in wood for 25. One person said they sold it with acrylic and wood for 20. And some guys sold it with colored popsicle sticks for 35. So, you know.
So like Doug Rose turning them, yeah. What color
James?
popsicle?
James, what does the lady do with that?
They hold on it. Where is it? They'll hold it like this, clip it onto their bracelet, and hold it like that, and then they can hook their bracelet up with their free hand.
Oh, okay.
I've made this part a little bit bigger for women that have arthritis and they can't bend their fingers very well.
Go back to the 60s. It looks like a roach clip.
I thought about that. I don't know if I could sell it at the church craft show and call it a roach clip.
That's what I was just thinking.
No, but at the bar on a corner, you probably could.
Yeah.
You can sell them down at the smoke shop though.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
Beautiful work. Thank you, James.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All
Very
right.
nice.
All right, let's go back to David, see if he's got his sound up.
David, you back with us again, sir? David? You think we have
He's-
David back?
You know, it may be that your headphones are plugged in and having something to do with your microphone as well.
Yeah, or the volume. Do you have two jacks? Do you have a headphone jack and a microphone jack on your laptop? Because it might actually be in the wrong jack hole.
Or not
if that's the
completely in,
case.
because it's a 4-point system, 7 3-point system.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll keep checking
Same
back with
problem
David.
tonight. When I logged in tonight, I ended up having to log out and log back in.
What's happened with
bet.
several people tonight? They had to log completely out, and come back in to get their audio to work.
Yeah. And I use OBS to do the switching and all the other stuff and this graph and things. And the audio income OBS, I had a spike about 2 weeks ago and it turned on all the microphones. And I was getting a terrible feedback. I couldn't have my sound on at all. It even fed back through the hearing, through the earphones. So today I'm talking to Scott Fichter and he told me what to go turn off. All went away. That Scott Fichter is great with this OBS stuff, really great. And we got a couple of new, in fact, I put 4 cameras into this one computer the other day, all wirelessly, all without wires. And all 4 were 4K cameras on iPads and iPhones and Androids. And I was playing in the shop and I discovered I don't ever have to go buy another camera. And I must have a box of cameras over the years because I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And discovered the iPhone, the iPad, the Android pad, all those things have got awesome cameras in them. And they'll communicate to my computer directly and wirelessly with a free internet connection. Free. All you have to have is Wi-Fi. But I didn't pay for those link up programs or anything else. Scott Fichter, Fichter, on YouTube. Awesome instructor, really great guy. Let's go back to gallery tonight. And I only mention that because we get a lot of guys say, I'd like to do that, but I don't have the equipment. You got one of these, you got the equipment.
Right.
Let's go to gallery.
Gary in Oklahoma's got some advice he wants to pass on.
Gary, what's up, bud?
Sir, we've had a couple of people that have mentioned that they're laser engraving the bowls or whatever already today. There is a software that a lot of us have been using, Lightburn, that has just yesterday released a brand new version. It's a major version. In fact, they're having a little bit of trouble with some of the comments on the forums today. But they are increasing their price from $40 to $60 next Monday. So anybody that is considering laser engraving or wanting to add light burn, which is probably one of the more powerful softwares for lasers, you might want to consider it. I put it into chat for anybody that's interested in it. And if you're not, you're not. That's okay. But if you are interested in maybe adding Lightburn to software, it may be some time to look in and save you a little bit of money.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that and sharing that information with folks here tonight. Saving money and learning how.
Thanks,
Eddie?
Gary.
Hey, go ahead.
Eddie,
Go ahead, Ronnie.
I have a question and it's completely away from woodworking, so don't throw me out the door.
Oh, I got the button in my hand, bud.
All right. Do we have any plumbers in the house?
By profession?
The question is, on a toilet, I changed the little rubber disc that shuts off the water coming into the toilet. When I did that, the toilet is now whistling with the water coming in. I've changed it twice and it's still whistling. Any ideas?
Sorry, no.
It might be you whistling on the toilet.
I was gonna say, what song is it whistling?
Teach it the lyrics so it won't whistle.
The water valve coming that lets the water come into the toilet is whistling. And it's not
Is
whistling.
it stopping the water?
Is it what?
Is it stopping the water?
No, no. I think it's running through so quick that it's whistling.
Do you have the wrong one?
You've got the wrong valve size.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The gasket around it is not fitting correctly, and it's letting the water come through.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know there were different sizes.
Yeah, there's different sizes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ron, have you got the water? Have you got the water valve turned all the way on?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I tried turning the water valve off and on, and I was trying to slow down the water some, but it still whistles.
We
You
put
may
a
have,
new
you may have
shower.
to change the seat in the bottom may have to be changed. You know, if they're not able to stop it.
Yeah, those
It's not a
gaskets,
bit-
they go bad after sitting in that water for so many years. So you got to check them and make sure they're not cracked or rotting or something, because they will do that over time.
What's that rot you said?
The gaskets, they'll turn bad. Sometimes they'll harden up. Sometimes they'll crack just because they're in water for so, constantly in water.
Yeah.
So, but the flap, are you talking about the flapper valve that pops down? It's not sealing right?
No, I've changed that. That's not the problem. There's a little round rubber disc that's about as big as a $50, and it's got a little disc in it, and you change that, and that makes the water shut off when the water comes into the toilet. But now I changed it. Now it whistles.
I would be looking for a trash buildup or a calcium buildup around the surface areas.
Yeah.
Because the other one may have given off some rubber when it went bad, and it's still there. And now your new one can't seat against it. I have a new shower outlet on in my tub, and I had to spray WD-40 up in the bottom of it, not to lubricate it, but to make it have a better contact, because it'd scream at you.
Did I hear you say you use WD-40?
I didn't say that, Ronnie. That was a blurb.
Okay.
I actually
gotta make sure those two mating parts are really clean before you put the gasket in.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I had to go borrow a chemical from the guy across the street. And first thing he said is, "You don't have any of this?" I said, "Nope, won't have a candidate. Nope, not gonna have it."
Well, that's not WD-40. That's water displacement formula number 40.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Yeah, because the other stuff I'm not gonna have around the house.
So you notice we'll talk about anything on this program.
Hey, if it's safe with it, as long as you don't offend anybody. Who was showing a bowl tonight and said, I want some comments. I was thinking, you're not gonna get a response here. We have a no but guarantee. You show
We'll even
something in
talk
this
about
program.
Ronnie's plumbing on this program.
There's always a first, Bob.
Just don't talk about his butt.
We've seen some things, we heard some noise, but hey, we set records every week. Hey, folks, if you haven't invited your friends to join us, please invite your friends, your fellow woodturners, your club to join us, be part of this crew. We are developing the world's finest website dealing with woodturning. We do publish these programs on the internet through our program, through our website, and also on YouTube. So if you miss something, you didn't get something, we make the something available for you all the time. Nowhere else are you going to get this. I do have somebody that says, light burns. All right, Gary put that in, but somebody a minute ago gave something about, Scott Hampton in California's got a Zoom IRD this Saturday. Is it this Saturday? No, it's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
All right, so if you want details on that, go to our chat and the link and everything else is there. Thank you, Scott. That's we like getting the link there because folks want to go find it. And you know, we had Kimmy in with us. Kimmy would and put it all up there quickly, but she's busy right now. I did see a YouTube today about Kim has a laser engraver, and it's a little bit bigger than that Niji. It's real good size, and I mean it moved quick. Unless you sped that tape up a lot, looked like a really nice unit. We're going to hear a lot about that, I believe. Going to go back to the gallery. It's August the 11th, 8 o'clock in the evening Central Time. Dane is our gallery master. Where are we heading, Dane?
Well, we're going to head over to Mark Keefe. He's got a question.
Good evening, tourists. My question is I was trying to do some captured rings this week on a goblet, and I was having some problems with it just breaking free of the goblet with turning to the inside of the ring itself. I know you're supposed to cut downhill always, but things get kind of goofy going to that inside curve with it. Do you guys have any tips on turning the captured rings from turning to the inside? But I was using a skew, and it was actually on a pine. That's what I was using.
What kind of tool are you using?
You cut out, Keith.
I have about an 1.5 inch skew. Yeah. I have like a 12-degree pitch on both edges from it. I think it's 12 degrees. I've always sharpened the same degree it came with. So.
Now you're using the heel or the point to do the rings.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you using the point? Are you using the point?
Yes.
So do you have the term is do you have the point down or the point up making those cuts?
It was the point was up, cutting to slicing downwards as the ring was turning up to me. So I had the point was on the top. My tool rest, how do I explain it? The top was on the tool rest, bottom was slanted towards.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
And I could see tear out on that as well.
Mark, you broke up so bad. Okay. Mark, if you can follow along with
yeah, I apologize, Eddie.
Mark, you might try to turn your.
I'm trying to listen to this podcast.
Mark, you might try to turn your video off while you're talking, and that might give you a little more bandwidth and keep it from cutting out so bad.
I apologize, folks. Thank you. Like I said, I was using a skew. It's about 1.5 inch skew that I have, and I was trying to turn to the inside. I'm okay with making the curves to the outside, just like I would do a spindle turn. But when I tried to curve and cut the inside of the captured ring, is where I get a lot of tear out and chatter when I go to the inside of that ring. And I'm trying to, I even broke the base of the goblet off by trying to turn to the inside. So I thought maybe I'd ask in the meeting today, you know, what if you guys have any techniques for going on the captured rings and cutting the inside of that curve when you get to it. I tried even using a parting tool to cut to the inside and just scrape it, and I still didn't make it very successful. I got a really nice button drawer pull handle now left of it.
Okay, Mark, when I get in that situation with a skew and I want to do those little precise cuts, I flip my tool over. I put point down and I can still ride my bevel to make that cut. I have less steel in contact with the wood, so I have to be careful how I ride the bevel, but I can easily sneak in and go around something, especially if I'm going under. Whereas I can't do that with a heel, but the guy I posted the video on today, he can do it with a heel. But I find that when I'm using the point, and I do the same thing with finials, I will flip my tool over after I've got it round and make the detail cuts with the other part of my skew. Less steel, less contact, more control, I believe.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I've never. Yeah, I've never tried it with the flipping the skew around. I'll give that a shot. I'll see if that works for me. Trying to get some details. So.
Other ideas, folks? The forum's open. Any other ideas for Mark?
It just seems like I'm always cutting uphill every time I try to do this.
That's where the point comes in at. You don't have to get so much of the skew down there, and your catch might not be on the ring. It may be on the wood next to the ring, throwing your tool into the ring. It's hard to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's those little bitty changes happen so darn quick. Sometimes it's not what our eyes see as it happens.
Somebody mentioned that's a good subject for a demo. Captured rings.
It really is. Our challenge master is Dane Chandler, and Dane normally gets somebody to say something, and then he puts them right on the book and gets them there. Because we don't let him get away, do we?
No, we don't. We just gotta figure someone out to do the captive rings. Maybe Joaquin. We can get him in sooner.
Yeah, or maybe Cade. No, well, we're gonna put the harm on Cade. Yeah, we do.
Maybe Doug Rowe when he gets his garage fixed up.
Could be, but he wouldn't do it out of popsicle sticks from the dollar store. That's the only problem with that.
I'm
Hey,
sure
must
we
be
can figure something out.
Captive rings would be a good one.
Dane,
I
while we have
appreciate
you,
it, guys.
Dane, while we have you up on screen just now, I go to it as soon as I can get it. What is that on the lathe? What is that?
That is a vase that's in process. Piece of eucalyptus.
And that's an elbow cutting rig, or?
It's an articulating arm.
Okay, elbow made some of the first ones, but I can't see the name on it. And
It's an old monster.
okay, yeah,
New to me. It's an old. But yeah, at the base, it's 9 inches deep, and then got a 1/2 inch base on it that it'll wind up having on it.
Okay.
And then it's about 3.5 inches in diameter at the widest point midway up. And I'm about that far down hollowing. It's crammed with wet shavings. The outside is already finished. It's finished with Parfix. Slide the camera over. Turn the light on.
nice piece of wood.
Sweet.
It's a lot bigger than I thought.
Gorgeous.
So it's a limb. It's off of a huge eucalyptus tree down the road that was taking a limb that was taken off of about 2.5 feet, 3 feet in diameter. So I got the limb from the tree guy, And so this is the tip for the heartwood that you can see here, and then the rest is sapwood. You know, so obviously turned off center, way off center. And so you can see it's stuck at the moment.
Now, you're breaking up a little bit, but you said you packed the inside with damp shavings.
Yes, the inside is packed with damp shavings.
That's to reduce the shrinkage, correct?
Correct, because I've already got the outside finished. And so I should have, or I'm either going to finish it up tonight or first thing in the morning. Either way, I'm not worried about any crackage or warpage or anything like that. So
That
but
thing
yeah,
looks like marble. It's gorgeous. Beautiful.
Parfix 3408. And I used boiled linseed oil as my sanding sealer.
Wait. You put boiled linseed oil on as a sanding sealer, and then you put Parfix 3408 over it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we had that question earlier this evening before you tuned in. Can you put Parfix 3408 over sealer?
Yes, just as I told Brenda, but I would guess I was too late in responding back to her yesterday.
Well, it was just Brenda, it was somebody else.
But yes, I put 3408 over linseed oil on every project that I do.
I believe that when you do a sealer, you make the surface homogeneous. That'd be a bad term to use, but you make the surface homogeneous because finish you're putting on is a finish. It's not a wood prep, it's a finish.
Correct.
And, I know I got a couple of folks disagreeing with me. That's okay. We've got about 70.
I know I do too, but I know how my work turns out. So,
hey,
And you're talking above my head. What is homogeneous for the wood?
It makes every bit of the surface of the wood uniform.
Correct.
When you put that sealer on, which you've done is sealed all the pores, all the cracks, all the soft spots, hard spots, and all, they're all to the same density, and you have a basic finish created with it. Then you're going to protect that finish with Parfix 3408.
All right, so it's a good thing then, is that right?
Oh yes, you'll love it.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so this is smooth and silky like a baby's behind it, and has not been buffed.
It's
that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
And it's also probably I've got 3 coats on there. So
When you put on the BLO, you rub it in like you do with the gun stock or something.
I will literally wet sand with 600 grit, black and wet dry black back paper with the boiled linseed oil, and I'll put it on there laboriously, and then I wipe the excess off. I let it come back to it 30 minutes to an hour later, wipe off any excess that's there, and then go at it with the CA, with the 3408 CA.
And it provides a
You got-
total finish.
You got
And then
3
can-
layers
then
of
you can-
what on there?
What?
I've got 3 layers of what on there?
Parfix.
3 of the Parfix.
Yes.
Okay.
When you get done,
You don't
when
put
he gets done,
put
and-
activator on between coats, do you?
No, I do not.
No, I do not.
I let it by itself.
I found out that's a big mistake. As soon as you do that, you're done as far as putting a second coat. It's gonna kick off as soon as you put it on.
Yeah.
I didn't care. There's a background.
Yeah, I accidentally tried to.
Got reverberation.
So, don't want to mute everybody, but whoever's got that second sound going, there you go.
I don't know if you
But
can
when
hear me
get-
now or not.
Yeah, now we got you. Now we got you.
Nope, still got the echo.
Yep. All right. When he gets done with the piece he's got, it sits right there. All right. can't get around it, we'll try something else. So I muted everybody. Now to back up, but if you want to come back up and press space key or whatever, the chat will just get online.
I had accidentally put some accelerator on it and decided I wanted to put a second coat, and you get about a half a second before it starts kicking off, so it makes it really difficult to add a second coat. But hey, it's a learning curve, you know.
Oh yeah, you got it. Now you know.
So if you want to put activator on there to quick carry your CA, what you need to do is after it's set up, you need to make sure you wipe that accelerator off, because you'll always wind up having excess laying on top of the piece. So as long as you wipe it off, you're okay to go back and do additional coats.
You mean like with denatured alcohol or something?
No, just a napkin, cotton shirt, whatever, as long as it's clean.
Just to take the bulk of the fumes off that'll cling on there.
Correct.
Now when he gets done with this piece right there, just now, Brenda said 3 coats. Brenda, you know what the kind of polish he's going to get on it with Vonex?
Oh, I can see myself in it already, but yeah. it's going to be smoking.
Yeah, beautiful work, gorgeous paint. Thanks for sharing it with us. I saw that piece on the background, I couldn't let it go. You see, it was sparkling from across the room. It's really nice. We're doing gallery here tonight, and if you want to be a part of it, all you have to do is go to the chat. And Ron Vincent says more than one person talking at a time. Ron, that was that drawback we had. Some of our folks have to have a second computer or sound source, and they'll overlap and feed back. So, but we turn it off and get it ready. We try and remember, this is like a backyard broadcasting system. We'll go back to gallery. What's up?
Okay, let's go back and try David J again.
David, you back with us again? David?
Got you, Dave.
You're not talking.
Still no sound though.
I think we've seen these
So
before.
looks
The
like he's got
bracelet
a
kits.
bangle with photos of family members.
Yes. Can you set an epoxy in these rings?
That
Very
is
nice.
gorgeous.
Yes, very nice.
Very, very nice.
I saw a demo of that at SWAT about 3 years ago.
Nice,
The guy
David.
really could do beautiful work with it. And that's the only place I found those snap together rings or infilled rings. I couldn't find them even catalog wise elsewhere. All right, thank you, David. We'll keep working on getting you audio, and things change. We'll go back to you once again. Now we're back with Dane.
Let's bring Stephen up. He just popped in. Hey, Stephen.
Hello, all.
Hey.
I turned this spalted maple bowl, sort of a hollow form. It's about 5 inches tall, about 7 inches wide. This is about 5 inches wide at the mouth.
Oh, it's nice.
It does. Good work on the inside. I mean,
OB shine juice finish.
OB shine
Very
juice
pretty.
finish. All right.
Now I'm thinking about making a lid for it. Maybe mahogany or something.
Big tall finial.
With a finial, yeah.
Yeah, a big tall one.
I've never turned a hollow form, and I'm working my way up to it with the.
Oh, that looks good.
That is pretty.
Got about
Very nice job.
3/8 of an inch wall thickness.
Yeah, that wall thickness looks good. It's not beefy, but it's not super thin. That's the way I like them right there.
Yeah.
I had a little trouble getting it smooth on the inside. I know my tools are sharp. It's got to be pilot error. So.
All right. Consider the finer cut you can take is with a scraper.
Scraper?
A scraper.
Yeah, I didn't buy a scraper on it.
And
Yeah.
don't use it flat.
Gouge.
My humble opinion, do not use it flat on the tool rest. Kick it up on one shoulder, soften the edge of it so it's not sharp on the edge. Kick it up, that's right. Kick it up on the shoulder and then make light passes. You have to keep refreshing the edge because the burr will not last very long. You may get 3 passes when you have to take your stone or your burnishing rod and touch it back up again. But remember, that's taking micro cuts and there's no pull, there's no tear, and it'll slice it right out. It's good workings with a scraper can make your day. And yes, I put that on a list of things we should do a demo on.
Okay, thank you.
Looks
Yeah,
great.
You're slicing it. When you're turning it on the edge like or at an angle, you're slicing it. You're not actually scraping it. That's why it gives you that, and the burr gives you a real good finish.
Yeah, and it won't dig in. If you're up on an angle, your muscle control is going to keep it from twisting. It's just, regardless of our age, we have that much muscle control. If you put it flat on a tool rest and you ground it out, it's only got one choice: cut, not flex. And if you hit a hard spot, it's going to tear it out. We're trying to avoid that tear out stuff. Go ahead.
Any comments on a negative rate scraper doing the same thing instead of a straight scraper?
Can I not comment on negative rakes and keep my job?
It would have the same effect.
Scrapers are scrapers are scrapers. That's the category they fall in. And no matter what tool you use in your shop, the presentation of the tool against the wood will make it fine wood or junk wood. I don't care what tool it is, a fingernail gouge, a bowl gouge, an Ellsworth gouge, a scraper, a skew. Think about how you present that blade to that wood. If in doubt, get out your pocket knife and start cutting on wood. You'll discover that how that blade's presented to that material will make all the difference in the world. I'm off the stand. I just had to get on that stand. I get it every once in a while. Pardon me.
I'm with you. Hey, Eddie.
Stephen, thank you, sir. Appreciate showing us that tonight. Very nice work. Very, very nice work. Yeah, Dane, I'm not alone in that theory, huh?
Well, sir, you're not. Standing with you on that.
Yes.
And we probably got 20, 25 guys in here right now that'll jump on board with that.
Right?
Oh, yes, sir.
And there's probably another 20 that will jump on the other side.
Yeah, I've seen a YouTube, but this guy did this and this. Okay.
Right.
That, trust me, it's helpful, but can be harmful. All right.
And there'd probably be 60 different opinions.
Well, we got 73 right now. We get at least 2 from everybody. So, we get up there.
Yeah. Sometimes all you got to say is, Matt, you need to turn some more wood and see what happens.
That's right. And turn junk wood. You really want to learn? Turn junk. Ronnie got us into turning these 2x4s. And that's because if you can turn something out of a 2x4, like a wig stand, and you can make it look like it's decent material, you've learned how to use your tools. Nothing else about it. You learn how to use your tools.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a tool.
Nope.
Tool's only 10%.
I think it's connected to this thing that you have right here. And makes the difference. That's what I tell people when I was teaching. You have an on and off switch. And the new ones will go, what? Where's that at? Where's that at? It's right there. That's the on and off switch. So, all right, I tap danced enough. Let's go to somebody else would. There he is. There's Huck. Joe, you're on.
There we are. Yeah, I've been a little bit busy this week. I made me one bowl. This was material. It was really beautiful wood, but it was all punky, really bad.
Bring it back over towards you. It's off camera. There you go.
It's got a lot of character in it.
What kind of wood?
It is spalted oak.
Nice.
And it was all punky here, real bad. Down inside it was really punky. Some of us you can still see a little bit, not much though.
Right, what'd you do about the punky, Joe?
What I did, I took thick CA, put it on it and folded up a piece of wax paper and smeared over it to use it kind of like I brushed it on there, but I used a piece of wax paper and filled them in and sanded it out.
Doug Miller showed us a piece earlier this evening that he
Yeah.
did a CA repair on
Yeah.
to get rid of some funky. If you saw this piece last week, that light spot was just sponge.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's what mine was like, that too, right everywhere here inside. And that thick CA went on real easy because it filled the holes and just wiped right over top of it with a piece of wax paper.
Did you get a lot of fuming from the CA?
No,
Okay, so you didn't have a lot of moisture in there. So
no, it's super dry. It was so dry it was throwing powder off of it.
wow, and that's a pretty piece.
Good, Jeff.
What's the
Love
finish?
that.
The
What
finish
finish?
on it is I use the Old Masters oil base sanding sealer. I use spray on poly. I give it 2 coats of spray on poly, but only 1 coat of sanding sealer.
Nice
And it
finish.
turned out pretty good for me.
Yeah.
It turned out,
Pardon me?
I love that shine. It's
it
beautiful.
turned out,
Yeah, it did good. It works perfect when I use the oil-based sanding sealer. I might have to put a couple coats of it on different stuff, but it's good shine to it. I also made a walnut bowl.
Right in front of you. Come on, come on. Oh, there you go.
ooh, look at
And
that.
it was pretty punky, and you can see that the reason it's so thick is because I was starting to lose the bark off of it. And I ended up just going for it right there. But that's another thing that I made this week. Got the same
Interior-
finish on it.
Interior's got some great character to it.
Yes. I try to
That's
only
nice.
pick out wood that has character because I don't know. I don't like to looking at something that just looks like an old piece of wood. I want something that's got character to it. And I find a lot of wood around here that's got character to it.
Good.
But anyway, that's what I did this week.
Thank you,
Right.
Joe. Appreciate you
All right.
sharing tonight.
Thank you.
One more tip on finishing tonight. Isn't that nice? Boy, really covering some ground. If you've got something, folks, in 34 minutes, we pull the plug. We start at 6 o'clock. Remember, when we started this program, we were going 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and we were told it would never work. And then it went 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and then it continued on after that. And then they started showing up early. So now we turn the switch on about 6 o'clock. But tonight at 6 o'clock, there were 18 people in the room. So it's it's all on the back of the truck out in the parking lot. We're having a great chat. If you want to show something on chat, let us know. We'll do that. And I'll remind you again, we still support the Freedom Pens Challenge. That is where you turn a pen and we give it to a working troop. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, whatever. We support those people who support and protect us. So Doug Grill is our first sergeant. He's active Army, and he handles getting our pens out to our troops. He's got a big batch going to Navy. If you're retired, a former Navy, and you want to jump in on that batch, get him to Doug now. And I tell you what, if later on you turn some pens and you want them to go to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, and you tell Doug that's where you'd like him to go, he will do his best to get it done. He does. He supported us since day one. He's been in the box. Since we said we wanted to do this, we had Doug on board, along with a handful of other folks. And I got to tell you, it's a great feeling to know that when I sit here on Wednesday nights and I'm sitting in my garden room, I'm not sitting in front of my computer. I'm sitting on the back of the truck in the parking lot talking to my friends. Yeah, that's right. You're all my friends, and I hope we're all friends together. We don't curse. We don't say things cruel. We don't take political stands. There's nothing negative. This is a positive world of wood turning, and we want you to be part of it, please. Dane, do we have anybody else in the gallery, sir?
Yes, we do. We got Dean Grimes up.
Hey, Dean.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
All right.
Good.
Hey, man, I saw a video you did on small. Describe the bowls, natural edge bowls.
Oh, those, you talking about the little bird's mouth bowl?
Yeah, bird's mouth. I couldn't get the name. There you go.
Yeah, I tell you what, we get to the point where we think we might be pretty good, or we just go out and do what we want to do. And I decided to do a video on bird's mouth bowl. I can't tell you how many I've turned over the years. But the first one I turned, I ended up getting a bowl out of it.
I was going to say,
But
that's a pretty good sized bird mouth.
as I finished it, something fell off the shelf and I turned around, and when I did, I caught the gouge on the lip. So I went ahead and finished this one.
Okay, wait, I got to stop you. How long did you work on that story?
How long did I work on what?
On that story you just gave us.
Oh, no, it didn't take long. So I turned this one, and, it turned out to be a pretty nice little bowl. It's just a hair under 1/8 of an inch thick all the way down to the bottom. And then it's a little over 1/8 of an inch thick there on the bottom with the foot and everything.
What's
It
the
kind of
material?
goes. That's a piece of oak, and it was off of a dry limb, and I was able to keep the bark.
Wow.
I came in to look at the video, and the first half of the video, I have absolutely fantastic audio and a still photo of my left shoulder. For some reason, I've never had that happen, because I was watching it on the monitor. I was getting movement and everything. So I decided, well, I'll go out one more time.
I like the color on that one.
I've got a few more coats of finish to put on this one. It needs about 3, maybe 4 more coats. It's going to end up a shiny finish.
What are you using for a finish, please?
Minwax antique oil finish.
Okay.
And the reason I like that is, you see this one. It's a satin finish. You put it on, you wipe it off, you get a satin finish. You put it on thin coats, and you'll get a real glossy finish. And so, like I said, this one still has several coats. But
you lost me on that. Say that one more time about the coats.
Okay, so when you use the Minwax antique oil finish, if you want a satin finish, you put it on, you let it set for a couple of minutes, and then you wipe it off, and it'll give you a gorgeous satin finish. Now, if you want a glossy finish, you just put on a thin coat, let it dry. Go put on another thin coat, let it dry, and it'll just build up. It'll literally give you a glass-like finish if you just keep going.
Where do you buy that? You get it online, or?
I go down to the local Ace Hardware, because Home Depot and Lowe's don't carry it.
Nobody carries it around here. I don't know where to go.
You can order it on Amazon.
I buy it off of Amazon. You can get it either pints or quarts.
Yeah.
Somebody throw that link in Amazon in our chat tonight if you would. If somebody would. So we have that on record. But that's a good friend of mine, I used to work for him, is one of the buyers at Home Depot. And I asked him why they discontinue this product, discontinue that product. His answer was, they buy paint products from one vendor, one jobber. Now, if I want to add, I'm buying all these bananas from one guy. If I want to add an apple, I got to bring in another vendor, and they don't want that. So that's why
they like to keep it simple.
Yeah. So,
hey, Captain, I got one more thing I'd really like to say. And, I started my YouTube channel, I guess, about 5 years ago, but in the first 4.5 years, I uploaded 3 videos. And so in January, I decided to get serious about it and put up some videos. And man, I thought I had really gotten somewhere when I hit 500 subscribers, and so many people watching and commenting, and so many of you folks have watched the videos and given me some great feedback and comments, and I really appreciate that. but it has gone absolutely crazy. And I just want to thank everybody that's watched and that's commented and the feedback that I've gotten, because it's really helped me. And we just went over 1,400 subscribers today. So
That's
thank
great.
all of you folks. I really appreciate it.
And you know, Dean, you do a great job. You really do a great job of it. I wish I was still in the mode of doing the instructional videos that I love to do. But my feedback from the viewers was critical. And
Yes.
folks, if you watch them, good, bad, or ugly, give the producer some feedback. It's amazing that if I see something, you know, a guy does, and I really wonder, why are you using an electric drill for a screw gun? You know, it's something simple like that. He can maybe be able to explain it to you, or not realize that he showed you maybe an improper technique, and he has a chance to correct it or improve on it or whatever. So feedback is critical. It really is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Dean,
Yes, sir.
why don't you talk about that ball end mill that you used on that bird's mouth bowl?
Well, I mean, you know, I made one of those tools because some of the folks here on this, on the Worldwide Wood Turners were talking about it. And I got to looking at it and said, you know, that'd be a fun thing to make and fun thing to have. And if I'm going to do it, I might as well video it. I've used it several times on several different things now. And I mean, you'll look at, I don't know if you guys can see the bottom of that bowl, but I had to sand more up here than I did in there, because with that ball mill, it slices like a skew.
And it uses a very small portion of the radius to do the slicing.
Yes, and I mean, it is just, it's really amazing. I mean, I've got the hunter type carbides and I've got hollowing tools and scrapers, but I have never seen anything that will give you as smooth a cut, and basically you can control it.
And you
You
came
want it to
across
be
the
a,
bottom.
what's that?
You came across the bottom of that piece.
Yes, I did. And if you want it to be aggressive, you just give it just a little bit more twist, and it can be as aggressive as you want it to be. And you turn it where the end of that cutter is straight up and down, and it doesn't cut at all. As you start to turn it, you control exactly how fine or how aggressive a cut you're going to get.
That's that on off switch I was talking about. It's
Exactly.
Right, it's right there. And if you hog it, it's going to look like you hogged it. But that cutter, folks, if you haven't seen this before, we have using a ball end machining bit available at any place that sells machining parts, but Granger, MSC, McMaster Wright, all those people sell the type of cutter. And you're using the 3/8 inch, Dean?
I'm using the 3/8 inch, the one they recommended to get off of Amazon, and I forget if it was $6 or $7. Somebody asked me, said, well, how in the world are you going to sharpen that thing? And I mean, you know, like, it's got 4 cutting edges on it. It's $6, and I haven't started to dull the first one yet.
Oh.
You
And
know,
think about how you use it, where you put it at, how you store it. You know, the abuse outside of the wood will be worse than any abuse the wood will give you.
exactly.
So, but that's beautiful work. I love those.
But there's several videos online about that. There's one on my channel. I did it in 2 parts, making the handle and then making the tool. Well, actually 3, because I made the handle, made the tool, and then I hollowed out an end grain bowl, and I did a bowl specifically so that the folks could see how the cutter cuts.
Oh, we saw that. You showed us that. You showed us that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Well, no, I had another piece that was the original one. This is one I just did it on. Let me run, I'll get the other bowl that I did the ingrain hollowing on.
Okay, Dean Grimes is out of Texas. He's done demonstrations for us before. In fact, a lot of the turners you've seen tonight doing gallery for us this evening have done demonstrations for our organization. And we don't pay for these demonstrations. They're volunteers. They offer to do them. We can offer them no support. I mean, you're not going to run over and help Dean set up a shop today. Cleaning is another thing. But we are always looking for great demonstrations. And you can produce those demonstrations on an iPhone. It's just that simple. I see Matt Harbor popped in. He's in the audience tonight. That's the piece.
That's the piece right there.
Dean?
And the whole reason.
Hey, Dean, what do you call that tool?
Ball end mill.
Ball end mill is what.
End mill, okay.
Amazon has them and they're $7. You pay more for shipping than you do for the tool itself.
Not if you don't have that Prime thing. My wife got
Oh,
the
yeah.
Prime thing. Well, find a buddy that's got Prime and have it sent to him, but be careful. He might not give it up.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send it to me. I got Prime. It's no problem.
Prime also charges you the freight on that item for that price.
Tell him he needs a 2 flute.
Yeah,
This was both ends.
it's a 2 flute ball mill.
And it's not difficult to make the handle or the bar that it goes in. It's just drilling and tapping, and we can all do it. It's beautiful work. Thank you, Dean. I love seeing stuff. Good luck on your channel. And folks,
Thank
if you
you,
want to
sir.
see his stuff, we have his channel listed on our website. You can go there and tune him in. And so when you do see his work, subscribe, join him, and you get an alert every time he puts out a video. And if you punch the like button, it helps him out too. I think he gets a penny a piece for like button hits.
If you go into the chat from last week, Dean Grimes put the exact Amazon nomenclature for getting the part. I had a terrible time finding it, looking just on Amazon, just looking for it. But Dean Grimes gave us the whole thing. It's in the chat last week at 20:05 timeline.
Let me see if I can find it and I'll put it in the chat tonight here.
Yeah, that's what you all put last week, Dean.
Yep. So it matters, folks. We're only here to share information. This is not a bragging corner, but what I see, and you see it too, some fantastic wood turning art, and all capable by people who want to do it, to sit down and do it. And I get in trouble when I say this, and it doesn't matter. But don't do it for the buck. Do it for what's in your heart. Turn every piece that you have, turn it like you're going to give it to mom or to your wife and your girlfriend. But every piece you turn it like it's special for somebody, and never ever throw them away. Even if they don't look great, don't throw them away. They're unique. All right. We got about 15 minutes or so before we wrap it up this evening. If you'd like to chat, get on board, say hello, whatever. Matt Harbor says the one he bought from Amazon.com, the product information is in the chat. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you this evening.
You're welcome. Yeah, I've been traveling. I just got back and couldn't miss the meeting. Hope to catch everybody. Hi, everyone.
You're way overdressed. You're way overdressed.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my video.
Okay. Good seeing you. Matt does demonstrations for us and other folks. He's in the Detroit area. He does a very fine job. He's done some really great instructional videos and artistic videos for us. And we look for it. Every time we get one, we'll take you up on it. Just
Hey, Eddie,
let us know. Hello.
since Matt just joined us, ask him about doing a demo on the ring.
Oh, wait, I wasn't going to put him on the spot that quick, Brenda, but since you brought it up,
The captured rings, Matt. Brenda wants you to do captured rings.
You know, I've never done one, so I will do one. How's that?
You know how good that goblet will look that you have in the photograph if there was a cabinet.
Yeah, I know. I don't have any more of that wood. That piece was down. That was in my conservation club, my gun club, and it been down in the woods for like 10 years.
Whoa. Somebody's audio's up.
That's Cade.
Yeah,
He's looking
Cade.
stuff.
I got him.
All right, you got it? Okay. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, that piece of wood in the picture there came from a piece of cherry that had been down in the woods for years, like 18 years or something. And the top inch and a half of it, outside inch and a half of it was all no good, but the thing was about 40 inches in diameter. So there was a lot of good wood left and it had been compressed. It was really cool.
Nice.
So,
Remember, you
but
can't
yeah.
go add a ring to a piece. You got to put the ring in the piece.
I know.
If you haven't done it before, we figured we'd go slow on it. Because some guy said, I turn them all the time, and I went really good at gluing them back together again.
I only turn at one speed, guys, as fast as I can.
And you know what? You'll make less mistakes that way. But if you don't know how to use your tools, you'll make more mistakes that way.
I'll make you a deal. I'll even show how to use the ball end mill on a goblet. How would that be?
That'd be
Two for one. When you want to do this, Matt?
I don't know. Let me.
So because I haven't, like, I just got home and I need to check my schedule for the next like 2 weeks and find out.
All right. Don't let him get away, Dane.
Sounds like he's hired, Dane.
We got it on tape.
I got him. I know how to get a hold of him.
Yes, he does.
Hey, pay him double the normal rate, okay?
Whoa, don't throw that away, man. Back,
Hey, Dane,
let's back her
before
a
you
little
go-
bit.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dane,
really
before you go, can I see the knife?
I missed some.
Who? Dane or Dean? Who?
You
Did you show
the knife. Yeah.
The knife. There's nothing sacred here. We talked about Ronnie's bathroom. Now we're going to go to a knife conversation.
Matt, aren't you glad you joined us tonight?
I am. I miss you guys.
Yes.
Is that the knife that's in your back as they're twisting it?
So let me spotlight myself. So this is what I did last week. And we'll turn the light on.
Yeah, well, he posted a picture of a knife, and I had some questions, and because I've been sort of seeing them advertised, and I wanted to know more about it, and he gave it a glowing review. So it's a Damascus knife, and he made a handle for it, I think. Is that right, Dane?
Yes, Damascus stainless, 67 layers.
Wow.
So the money thing is the handle is not showing up good in the light.
It looks like a full tang. It's a full tang?
It is a full tang, yes. Hold on a minute. My phone too high.
Sorry to push the meeting out away from wood turning a little bit, but I was really curious. He said he'd show it tonight.
Yeah, I didn't show it, so let's try it again.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is a Sonoran ironwood, desert ironwood, proper desert ironwood.
Wow.
Dust all over it.
You found some with no wormholes in it?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of it underneath my lathe. I buy it, my local woodcraft, when the owner gets it in, he always gives me a call when he gets big pieces and gives me a fairly decent deal on the cost per pound, because he knows I'll pretty much buy every big piece. And so I hadn't made anything out of ironwood in a while. My wife finally decided what type of wood she wanted her handle out of. And so, yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks, Dane.
Barely. And so that's finished. And guess what, folks? Can you complete the sentence? It is finished in what?
3408.
3408. And that's got multiple coats and it's all hand rubbed on. So that was kind of fun doing because it's not as easy to put on the lathe. And then, so here's the hammer Damascus. If you can see it.
Did you seal that with linseed oil?
No, it's, the wood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a
Hey,
beautiful
Dean?
piece of steel.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
67 layers. That number, that's a prime number.
Dean,
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question for you. Look at the handle. Are those 3 rivets or is that 3 pieces of brass you peened over?
3 pieces of brass.
Okay. And you just peened it over with a ball peen hammer?
So everything is adhered with adhesive resin.
Then you said,
Plus the pins. So on the tang part, I've got my 3 holes that my brass pins are going to go in. And then I drill extra holes in the tang. So I have a solid connection of resin. And then lay in the resin, put the scales on, clamp it together, and then get to shaping the handle.
Okay, all right.
And then the brass, it's brass, so it just sands off. So,
Right, okay, good, thank you.
yep, you're
Where
welcome.
did you come up with the blade?
Through Woodcraft, they have a brand that comes out of Japan. It takes it took me 7 months to get it. They special order it from Chin Damascus Knife Company.
beautiful
And so-
piece of work.
And so the blade steel itself was, I don't know, 125, something like that, about a year ago.
Beautiful work.
Definitely worth it. It is super. It came razor sharp. I increased the sharpness on it. Hit it with the 1,000 grit diamond stone, so it's even sharper than what it came as. But yeah, it's a real nice knife. Wife was extremely pleased with. Of course, now she wants me to find some paring knife Damascus.
I think we got those in stock at Woodcraft in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I know we've got some of the shim knives. I work at Woodcraft, and I know we got some of those knives. I don't know if it's that one.
Yeah, hard to tell. Maybe they're in with them now.
Thank you, Bang. Appreciate you showing us that really nice piece of work.
It's
man.
a good buy. But it was a nice project.
Yeah. All right, folks, we got about 5 or 10 minutes to go before we wrap it up tonight. If you got something you want to chat about, talk about, you got a problem, we've talked a dozen problems here this evening, and we've given the opinions on what we think, you think, they think about what would take care of it. That's why we get together. Anybody up right now? Got something? Talk.
Eddie, I presented my ball and you gave me some ideas, but then you said, well, we don't use a butt here. I'm perfectly open to any butt that came out of my presenting that ball. Were there any butts? I would have done something but. Seriously.
Well, it's not that you would be offended. I think when we formed this operation, it was that we don't want somebody to be offended because many of us have been to club meetings where all of a sudden somebody has been deemed to be the master or the turner of the week or whatever. I've been at places with the total yokel has made comments on other people's work. This is nice, but we don't want to be in a position of saying this is nice, but you can ask and we can grant you your answer. But we will not allow somebody to say, boy, that looks good, but that's where the but stops. It's it's your art. It's your creation. I'm not gonna question it.
I
Yeah,
understand
usually
that.
that's a self-appointed expert there that's doing that too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I understand your concept there, but I was also asking for input as to how to improve my product and how to go further. You know, I'm learning.
Okay, well, that's what we're here for. I don't want, the no but guarantee is, you can't say I like that but. And take, sometimes it's hard to reel that in. And I've gotten so disappointed. I went to a club in
You know, one of the things that
Washington
might
and
work
did
is
it.
if folks
I went to a club in Washington DC and did a week there, and they wouldn't let the members talk about their work. They had a gallery master that would talk about the work, and he was like a machine gunnist. He really was. I mean, I don't think a single thing on the table came up to his standards, and I felt so bad for the people that did all that work and put it up there. You know, that keeps people from bringing work forward. That keeps gallery down. That's why we adopted that code here. We don't want the gallery to go down. We're not going to judge your work, and we're not going to let you judge our work. So, but we'll help you. We'll be there in a second, Doug, if you got a question. We all have opinions like elbows. We got at least two. So, all right. Anybody else up tonight?
No, that's it.
All right. It's 5 minutes to 9, folks, and you're part of the worldwidewoodturners.org. And as you can see, that's our website. And if you have any questions, any problems, anything you would like to discuss, this is the place to do it. And we'll
Eddie.
handle. Hey, go ahead, Ronnie.
We hadn't heard from our senior member tonight, Mr. John.
I thought I saw him sign in one time. He's still. You think Mr. John is there tonight?
Mr. John still here, or did he go to bed?
I got Johnny H. I'm running down through the chart right now. I do not see Mr. Brown in the show tonight.
He was in and checked out. He wasn't in
Yeah.
for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was in for a little while, but
Okay.
we had a lot of folks cancel out tonight or leave out tonight a little bit early. It might be that time of the year, you know, and some of them still work for a living. That's a shame, but I gotta throw it out there. I won't get it out otherwise.
Well,
Saves the chat.
My connection is seriously unstable. I've had some major storms in the area, so that might be a factor too.
Okay, yep, and folks, Brenda just said it. Save the chat. Chat box, lower right-hand corner, 3 little dots, click on it, it'll say save chat, and it's saved on your home computer. And then you have it, and if something comes up like what did we pick up tonight? We picked up a couple of demonstration information. We know where to buy that part from Amazon. I mean, the chat is pretty heavy tonight. The light burn software is in there. Another one about Scott Hampton's demonstration coming up. Filigree from Penn State Industries. That's a little potpourri covers. And my wife won't let me use that word, potpourri. She's just call it a scent box. But all that information is on the chat, and the chat goes to our website. Our webmaster Dean puts all that on there and a lot more. We are building the world's finest wood turning website, and we're so proud of it. But we need your input. What's your photographs? If you do an article explaining something, and we've had those in our newsletter and on our website, send the information to us. A couple of weeks ago, I think Susan did one for us on ebonizing. Yeah, really good. I printed it out. I got it out in the shop because I want to look and see if I got all the wherewithal to get that done. It's going to be interesting. And tonight we came up with some stuff about telling all finishes and a few others. So if you can write a synopsis or a tech order or how to on what you've described, throw it to us, because sometimes we don't absorb that information the way it should be absorbed, and we'd like to go back to it. That's why we're here, and that's why this person is recorded. Go ahead.
All right, I got 30 seconds. When I hit the 3 buttons for chat, I don't have a saved chat thing on there.
Are you on an
I've got-
iPad or an iPod?
Yeah, I'm on an iPad.
Okay, you iPad, no, you probably won't get that. But
Okay.
we'll have it on our website. But I tell
Yeah,
you what,
I'll-
if you email me, I'll send you mine.
Okay.
And if y'all wonder what my email address is, simple, it's on every place. Captain Eddie Castellan, CAPN Eddie Castellan @gmail.com. And it's just like our Worldwide Woodturners email, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. And I see all those.
And if you get it off the website, you'll find it's in a little nicer format than when you save it. When you save it, it all comes up with information all in one line. I reformat it so that it looks more like the messages as they come down the screen. In other words, I use multiple lines, who it is,
Yeah.
comment underneath it. So if
That's
you
what I
get it
get
off the
on my Mac.
website, it may help.
I
Okay.
tried to find it on the website and had a hard time finding them on the website, the chat. What's it
Well, I will
listed?
put a pointer on the website to it, make it easier to find. It should be over on the right-hand side and oh, I know why. It's only on one page. It's on the meetings page. I'll move it to the
Okay.
front page, so it's easier to find.
Okay, meetings page. Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had somebody not take our humor of the little red dot that says, click here to join. They said, what does that mean? What it means is everybody's a member. You don't have to click on that dot to join. And we don't keep any records. We have absolutely no idea who you are, where you are, or how to get a hold of you, how to sell anything to you, how to give up a list of names to somebody. We don't have that. And really, we don't want it. If you want to be contacted, put it in a chat and that'll be it. Otherwise, mum's the word. We only have woodturning. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. I'm here because
Eddie, let me add something before you sign off.
Go ahead,
I've got a
Trace.
couple, I want to just show a couple knife blanks I have not done anything with.
Ooh.
If you can spotlight me.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, you were up.
I'm not on spotlight yet, though.
There you go.
There you are.
Okay, here's a couple knife blanks that I got to put a handle on. This is a chef's knife. I think they're Damascus steel, may have been out of China. Here's another one that's one of the Susan knives. And I put a link in the chat to where I got them from. I got them from a place in Haynesville, North Carolina. And I put the website out there for it.
Yeah, I wrote it
Okay.
down. Thank you, Craig.
And anyhow, they sell a whole bunch of unhandled knives.
Did you just put that up on chat? Because I don't have it.
I put it on chat just a minute ago.
Oh, I got it now. All right.
Okay.
Nice from
And,
www.pmgnc.com. Okay, now I got it.
Yes, yes. I didn't buy it through the website. I bought it from from the store itself, and they do a lot of knives out there. And I had taken a class that we were doing inlay work with, and that's part of what this was from. So we're doing mostly stone inlays, but I wanted to put some ivory handles on some knives, so that's the reason why I bought these two. And I paid $50 a piece for them, so the price is very good.
Good. All right. Thank you for sharing, sir.
Thanks, Trey.
Trace is out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Him and Johnny Green, Johnny Hughes hang out over there, and that's his cohort. You know, Johnny keeps him. Well, they don't keep anybody honest. All right. Thank you.
No, we
Trace.
don't.
No, just that we've had some great demonstrations from Trace. Really great. And he's helped Johnny give a couple of good demonstrations. We work together. See how that is? I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You're tuned in again this week to Worldwide Woodturners, and we'll be back next week. If you want to join in, be there. Go to our website, click the button, and go. Until next week. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Eddie.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week.
Good night, everybody.
Everyone,
Night all.
God bless.
Stay safe.
Be safe.
Night, everyone.